Okay. All right.
See if you hear that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Hey,
All right,
Shalom. Yeah. Shalom, Shalom. Hey, first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. That's the name of the Father and the Son. All right, and the Holy Spirit, who we worship and praise. We want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well over the flock. All right, we want to say shalom and salutation to all you brothers out here that's pushing the words of truth and sincerity, the prophets out here sincere. All right, also say shalom to all you Akim and Akwaf that's paying attention, scattered Israelites abroad, listening, diving in. All right, as a topic, you can see it's diets and nutrition again. You know, there's many prophetic topics to go into. If you don't understand prophecy, you know, you should be checking out some of the prophetic videos, you know, but since there's so many different facets to our brothers' knowledge and, you know, we accumulate here together and bring up so many different topics that just flood, it's good to get some of these out too. And this one's on diet and nutrition. You know, you got a few brothers that's live right now. Shout out to all the brothers that's going live on the streets, because that's mainly what we do. But this one, once again, it's about health. And I got some of the top, you know, as far as I'm concerned, brothers out here that's have the knowledge of foods, man, foods and diets and nutrition, just how this thing works, what you're supposed to eat, what you're supposed to stay away from. Brothers gonna go all the way into details and outline things that you're gonna need to know. So if I was you, you know, I get a pencil and a paper or a pen, you know, because you're gonna want to take notes on this one or watch it over again, what have you. But a lot of good wisdom gonna come out. And we're gonna start with myself. I'm Rapah Mouth. We're gonna go from the south all the way up to the north this time. Nathaniel, introduce yourself.
I'm Nathaniel. I'm from the GMS camp Atlanta, and you know, basically my stick is you know, I'm the camp cook. You know what I'm saying? So you know, what I try to do is basically take all of the poisons out of our food that are in there and make everything from scratch, so the food can be more nutritious and more natural for the body. You know?
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I do. So, you know, I put a lot of work and a lot of effort into the food because what they say is you are what you eat, and that's very true. You know what I'm saying? So if all you're eating is poison and foods that change the natural condition of the body, eventually over time you start developing debilitating diseases like insulin resistance and you know, diabetes and kidney problems and heart problems and calcified arteries and things of that nature. And all of those things come from what you're putting in your mouth on a day-to-day basis. And these things are actually pushed upon us by, of course, our enemy, you know, and primarily things are targeted toward Jake. And there's a lot of confusion out there about nutrition and how different foods actually affect the body.
Nathaniel, real quick, brother, can I stop you real quick? I just want to introduce everybody who on the panel real quick.
Man.
No, you all good, brother. We gonna get into it. I know you fired up. All right, who else we got in here?
Shalom, Yahweh Shemel Shai, Brakathum, Amuhan Gabar. Lord willing, this be edifying, straight and to the point as always. Shalom.
Shalom.
I'm Shemawan, you know, GMS, New York.
New York City.
New York City, brother.
All right, and before we get into all of the good edification Nathan Ya'ala got, we want Shemai one to just kick it off. I know he on the time limit now, so we're gonna get him to kick it off as far as everything we need to know about the digestive system, right?
It's the you know, it's called a alimentary canal. Starts from the mouth all the way down to the anus, and basically it starts with chewing, which is called mastication. All right, and also peristalsis. And that's a wave-like contraction that brings the food from your mouth to down the esophagus. and is in a wave-like motion and contraction with muscular wall receptive relaxation that propels the food to the stomach, where once it's in the stomach, there's a thing called churning, which takes hydrochloric acid and the food that's in your stomach, and it grinds it. It's called a churning action, and it's moving the food back and forth, right? Which turns the food into a white paste called chyme, and that paste is moved out of the end of the stomach, the pyloric sphincter, into the small intestines. I remember it as Dow Jones Industrial, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So once that chyme goes into the duodenum, there's let me get it. Let me take my time. It's the pancreatic duct. It connects with the duodenum, and it's the same place where the bile duct from the liver and the gallbladder joins the duodenum of the small intestine, and they call this the hepatopancreatic ampulla, where the pancreatic juice and bile is secreted into the duodenum, which causes that white chyme to turn brown. That's what gives, waste its pigment. But it's not fully waste yet, because once the chyme is moving through the duodenum of the small intestine, it's all of the nutrients is absorbed through the villi of the small intestine. So this is where you're gonna have the digestive juices breaking down the food, like you have fats, proteins, and other foods that's basically being absorbed through the villi of the small intestine, and then from there it's moving into the jejunum. It's going to move into the jejunum of the small intestine, where it's absorbing water and more nutrients, but mainly more nutrients. And from there, it's gonna leave the ileocecal valve into the large intestine. All right, and there, once that's in the large intestine, is mainly water absorption. It's mainly everything is water. It's absorbing most of the water. But while all that food is moving through those chambers of the small intestine, it's each time it's moving. Could you show my hand? You see my hand? It's like each part of the small intestine is closing off while that paste is moving, and then it's turning like into ball forms. Like instead of paste, it's getting like more solid, because more water is being absorbed out of it until it reach the colon, where it's a signal. I forgot the signal. A signal is passed to let you know you gotta remove the waste out of your body. You know what I mean?
Con.
Did you want to know?
Yeah, add whatever else you had, brother. Let's go.
Basically the minerals. This is a book that I have. It's an old book I had. Basic Nutrition and Diet Therapy. Is by Nick's 14th edition, and it's basically talking about the minerals that your body needs, right? And it's hold on. It's 16 different minerals are needed in our diet, and the minerals, it goes from macro minerals, which are found in large quantities in the body, right? And also trace minerals, which is found in small quantities of the body, right? And those minerals are macro minerals are sodium, potassium, chloride, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, and sulfur, right? So some of the foods, the sodium is found in, chicken, cheese. Potassium, that's fruits, vegetables. Chloride, sea salt, olives. The calcium, milk. The phosphorus, nuts, fish. Magnesium, legumes like lentils. And the sulfur is found in eggs, milk, and the trace minerals are iron, which is you need iron, and you need iron for what they call hemoglobin. This is the oxygen molecule that moves oxygen and CO2 through your bloodstream. So basically the CO2 is like this. When the CO2, the way you get the oxygen is from your lungs, and when you go deep into the alveoli sacs of your lungs, there's a thing called a respiratory membrane. This is what oxygen and CO2, it diffuses into the blood. So CO2 is removed from your body, through that respiratory membrane that's in the lungs. Now, the hemoglobin, the oxygen carrying molecule, it carries iron through your blood, right? And also you can find this iron in like red meat, salmon, you brothers know. Zinc also, that's red meat and kale. Iodine, is in eggs, chicken, seaweed. Selenium, that's in Brazil nuts. Copper is in nuts and seeds. And fluoride, I'm not talking about the shit that they put in the toothpaste. I'm talking about the fluoride that's in grapes. You know what I mean? Chromium, that can be found in broccoli. Molybdenum, I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. That's in leafy veggies, black-eyed peas, and lima beans, and manganese, that's in nuts, seeds, hazelnuts, pecans, and brown rice. And you had asked me a question: what do the minerals do in the body?
Yeah.
They regulate the body processes like sodium and potassium. That's for nervous system function. The selenium works with vitamin E as an antioxidant, which prevents cell damage by oxygen. The liver deals with vitamins and the minerals. That's like it filters it. That's why the doctor would know if someone's using like drugs, like if they using narcotics like oxycodons or whatever. Even if they clean their system out, it'll be like it'll be like something wrong, like your liver's like enlarged. So they'll know you're doing something you're not supposed to do because the liver filters it out. The sodium is muscle action, like water balance and digestion. Potassium, that's muscle protein, nerve impulse, energy production, and also release on insulin from the pancreas. So potassium helps that. And the insulin, that's the hormone produced by the pancreas. It allows for glucose absorption in the cells. So if someone's diabetic, they'll have that insulin lingering in the bloodstream. Now the chloride is a chemical form of chlorine in the body. It maintains water and acid-base balances in the body, digestion, respiration, and it's also an element of hydrochloric acid in the stomach. The calcium is for blood clotting, muscle and nerve action, and metabolic reactions, secretion of insulin by the B cells of the pancreas. Now, phosphorus is for the energy molecule, like your body, the energy that makes you like do work when you work in construction or whatever. That's ATP, that's adenosine triphosphate. That's like a nuclear reaction of energy in your body, and it's in the powerhouse, the mitochondria of the cell, and it's metabolism is like that's the sum of chemical reactions. So you have anabolic metabolism and catabolic. The catabolic, it will break down like that's something that will like break down glycogen and the glucose, because that's the primary energy your body uses. The secondary would be like protein and fats. So that's when they say, the apostles and all I can be like, yo, it's gonna be people starving and their body gonna feed off itself, because the next sources, if that primary is not available, your body feeds off itself. So it's gonna go to get that protein that's stored. It's gonna go to get that those that fat from your body. And the metabolism is the sum of chemical reactions in the cell to maintain life. So this occurs in a powerhouse, that's the mitochondria in the cell. And there's two types of metabolism, like I mentioned, catabolism and anabolism. And the anabolism, it builds proteins from amino acids. The catabolism, it breaks down glycogen and the glucose. And they call it the Krebs cycle because it's energy production in the cell. So once again, ATP is adenosine triphosphate. That's the energy molecule that gives your body energy to do work. All of this, it takes energy. So that process of your food, the nutrients being absorbed, it's built to make that like calories is heat energy, and they call it K calories in the body, and that's it uses that ATP, adenosine triphosphate, right? And once again, glucose is the primary source of energy. Brothers know that. Protein is the last source of energy. And the body only breaks down protein for energy when glucose and fatty acids are in short supply. Glucose is stored in the liver for later use. Like that's a storage. If your body don't need it at the moment, it stores it. And magnesium, the other mineral, that's for it makes proteins break down for energy. So it makes magnesium helps for proteins and muscle contraction and for catabolism, breaking things down. Sulfurs, that's protein structure for hair, skin, nails, and cell metabolism and connective tissue. That would be like cartilage. And now the iron is stored in the liver. That's another mineral. Iron stored in the liver and the spleen. It's in red blood cells, because remember we mentioned hemoglobin that transport oxygen and carbon dioxide. Zinc, it helps with wound healing and healthy skin. And the white blood cells in the immune system. Now the iodine, that's another mineral. That's for basal metabolic rate. That's the number of calories you burn as your body perform basic life functions, like, and thyroxine produced in the thyroid gland. So thyroxine is produced in the thyroid gland, and this helps with that basically the number of calories you burn in your body, that heat energy. So selenium, it protects the cell membranes, and you need the cell membrane because that's like a city that's protected from. You have the city walls that protects, yeah. And that the cell membrane is mainly like cholesterol, because remember, oil and water don't mix, right? So copper, that's energy production, hemoglobin synthesis. So that helps with the hemoglobin, synthesizing hemoglobin, copper. And fluoride, I'm talking about not the fluoride in the water, I'm talking about the fluoride that's in grapes that helps prevent cavities, to strengthen your teeth. Chromium, that stimulates the action of insulin, and you need insulin. Molybdenum, I might be spelling that wrong, that prevents toxins from building up in the body. Manganese, that helps the body form connective tissues, bones, and blood clotting. And I think pretty much that's it. But you could get like more detail with the body system. This is anatomy and physiology, bio 110. Just bear with me. I'm gonna get the author of the book when I get the chance, when other brothers start speaking. But
The author?
yeah, somewhere in there. Because when I was in school, they would hide the true author of the book, because you got a thing called test banks. That's what each textbook is like. You could study a textbook and fail an exam because each textbook is written like different, even though it's the same thing, it's written different and they word it different to trick you up. So the teachers have a thing called like test banks. So they try to get students from like finding out the text banks, which I found the shit out anyway. But yeah, because they know like only true people that read textbooks should be like PhDs. So a lot of professors are not PhDs, so they go by text banks, and that's how they trip up students because they'll take text banks from different anatomy books and throw them together and one thing. You brothers know I don't want to keep blabbering, but this other book I had basic nutrition and diet therapy that was from Nick's, and that's a 14th edition. That's probably an old edition. And I had the other source for minerals, and that's by Wendy J. Dahl. That's Dahl and R. Elaine Turner, and that was and you could just look that up as facts about minerals, huh?
Yo, Shah, let me bring out some scripts real quick, bro. Huh. Let me get the water, bro. The water for that. The water for that. You know, because everything always goes back to our main source. You know, I'm glad you brought out that book. You know, it all goes back to the main source, right? Because we're supposed to know this, man. This is for our edification. Understanding how different herbs work. I mean, understanding how different minerals, herbs work, right? You're supposed to be, you could be educated in these things, right? It says, Psalms 107:9, for he satisfied the longing soul and filleth the hungry soul with goodness, right? We understand that hunger is even more than what it's talking about, food, physical food. It's a figurative language for this truth as well. But you see how diet and nutrition goes hand in hand with a lot of figurative language in the scriptures, right? Psalms 132:15, I will abundantly bless her provision. I will satisfy her poor with bread. And so the Lord going to definitely look out for Israel. A lot of us is worried about what's going to happen in the time of Jacob's trouble. However, the Lord always told you that he's going to feed us and give us that food, all right, and sustain us through. I'm thinking of a scripture, but I can't quote it off the top of my head. Yeah, Yazian, you know what I'm thinking about?
What's up?
Let me see.
But
what was that scripture saying one more time, Salakia?
You know, just about feeding us when in time of Jacob's trouble, that we will eat.
Right.
My servant shall eat. I got you.
There you go, my servant.
Isaiah
45.
The water.
Yeah, just read it real quick when you get it. There was one in Job 2, right? Job 5 had to talk about famine.
There was another one.
Yeah, Job 5:22.
Yeah, because a lot of what the brother just went into, your diet, all your organs that's sustained by these minerals that you get, or a lack of minerals. A lot of it, and the brother Nathaniel Allah really going to go into it as well. A lot of it, when you lacking these minerals, man, you're not going to think right. You're not going to have the energy to think right. One of the first things that shuts down through a famine are your organs. Yep. And yes, of course, your body starts eating itself according to Lamentations. We understand that it start to pine away, right? Your stomach starts to consume everything around it, you know, the stomach acids and whatnot. But the Lord gonna sustain us. Y'all got that?
Yeah.
I'll eat. All right, go ahead.
Y'all just go ahead first, bro.
All right, I'm grabbing in my scriptures because this one right here, you said 45, right?
Yeah, my servant shall eat.
Isaiah 45. Why didn't Muhammad?
Whoever got it first. Well, when you get what when you
I'll
look
pull it up real quick. I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. 65. I'm sorry. 65:13.
No doubt.
65:13.
65. Isaiah 65 verse 13. Right. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And we understand that this is the time of Jacob's trouble. The Lord has already set up a time or determined the time, which means to determine means to terminate. All right. It's already a time that he has designed to be the end of you, the end of your time. Right. Thus for the some for the sword, those for the famine. Right. And so what he's going to cause is these food shortages to happen. Right. You already have to go to your enemy for the one of all things. All right. You're not knowledgeable on how to grow agriculture. All right. They're already mass producing fake meat. Brother just did an article on that 3D meat. And they want you to sit down and eat crickets at dinner time,
Right.
you know, and different bugs. So, but the Lord said, my servant shall eat. And by the way, according to the scriptures, ain't nothing wrong with eating grasshopper. Right.
Right.
One of the most known prophets, John the Baptist, would eat locusts and wild honey.
Mm-hmm.
And so my servants will eat because the Lord's servants are the ones that he's going to protect. That means he's not there for everybody. There's going to be amongst the ones eating, there's going to be many that are starving, many more that will starve, many more that will die of thirst. Right. I'm sure the body needs drink before it needs food.
Right.
Right. But read that last part of 13.
Yep. Done. And your body is mostly water. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It says, but you shall be. So like I read it again. And part of my voice, I'm
It's all right.
overcoming some bullshit. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed.
Yeah, and but you shall be ashamed. So that shame is going to cover all of them, man. The shame is going to cover everybody that denies their heritage. All right, denies their heirship, which is your sonship, your adoption back to the Lord. Your denial of that will cause you to be ashamed when you can't eat and drink anymore. Food shortages. All right. Severe outages of food. All right. A lot of the power outages. If that happens, how is your food going to last through a few days without being frozen? All your frozen foods, all your stored foods, after 2, 3, 4 days, your refrigerator dries them up. And that's another way in which you would be out here starving. But not to veer off too much off topic, I wanted to finish this out so that the brother could jump up. Shemai one, you was good on that, right? Probably a little more.
Yeah, I sped up on that because I didn't want to keep.
It's all good. We got it. Yeah, we're gonna flow. We're gonna flow with it. This is on verse 25, Psalms 136 and 25. Who giveth food to all flesh, for his mercy endureth forever. All right, so we understand it's the Most High we getting this sustenance from. We never hesitant to remember that.
Right.
All right, his mercy endures forever, meaning the Lord is going to continue to be merciful towards us by sustaining us with that food and then teaching us which foods to eat and stay away from. Psalms 145 and 15, the eyes of all wait upon thee, and thou givest them their meat in due season. Thou openest thine hand and satisfy the desire of every living thing. So there it is. How you get your satisfaction? From eating. All right.
I got something else.
Right.
Let me finish this out. You got some preset?
In a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, go. Yep. Let me finish it out. Psalms 147 and 7. Sing unto the Lord with thanksgiving. Sing praise upon the harp of our power. So, verse 14. He maketh peace in thy borders and filleth thee with the finest of wheat. All right. Ecclesiastes 3 and 12. I know that there is no good in them but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life. It says, and also that every man should eat and drink and all good and all the good of all his labor. It is a gift of Yahweh. So that's what we're dealing with, man. The gift of the Father, which is, the sustenance that we could rely on, man. And the brothers is getting into all of the excellent different foods that the Lord has given us.
Hey, bro.
Go ahead.
I got something real quick, bro. Matter of fact, let me get Job, and then I got an example of something because I just kind of looked into this, and it's heavy through the spirit. But let me go to Job. What I say? Job chapter 5 and verse 19. 19 on down to 22. Because when that time comes, Abarat is our Lord willing. Us brothers out there that have been enduring, doing the work, present our bodies a living sacrifice, giving diligence to make our call and election sure, and just pushing, getting down for our crown and do, because this is our reasonable service. Lord's will, when that time comes, we're gonna be fed, just like how how the Lord took care of us in the wilderness. And I want to bring up that example because it's gonna be another wilderness-like event to take place. A lot of Israelites are gonna die down. So this is Job chapter 5 and verse 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, which 6 troubles represent like Jacob's trouble, the time of affliction, which we're approaching that right now. Yea, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee. The 7 evil or the 7 troubles is the ICBM destruction. Psalms 91. All right, only with thine eyes shalt thou see the reward of the wicked. Verse 20 says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death. So brothers going to be taken care of in the time of famine. And guess what? The Lord is going to supply our body with what it needs, nutritious foods. All right, ain't gonna be no. Somebody got to mute their camera. Or their audio. So the Lord is gonna provide food, that's beneficial to the body to sustain the body. In that time, ain't be no Lay's, potato chips, and bullshit. The Lord's gonna provide us with what we need. And I'm gonna get an example in the book of Exodus. It says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword, which the World War III is going to be by the way of ICBM missile. All right, which the sword just simply represents death and destruction. It says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. So during the time of destruction and famine, brothers are going to laugh. Why is brothers going to laugh? Because brothers are going to be eating. All right, the Lord is going to perform miracles somewhere, somehow. Brothers are going to be eating. And real fast, I want to get Exodus chapter 16 and verse 13. And it came to pass that at even, the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning, the dew lay round about the host. All right, and this goes back to the wilderness. The Lord fed Israel with quail. All right, which quail is a lawful bird like poultry to eat. And real fast, I looked up, typed in the health benefits of quail. It says, compared to eating chicken, eating quail is better for you because quail meat is high in vitamin C and iron. Which, think about it, if you wander in the wilderness for how long, you will need vitamin C. You will need that iron. All right, Shemai one, the priest, he done went into how iron and vitamins and vitamin C, which would be considered micronutrients, all right, which is essential for the body. How essential it is for you. We need iron. We need vitamin C. Iron is good for the blood. Vitamin C. We need vitamin C. If you ain't getting vitamin C, and Sunny D is not gonna give it to you. Sunny D is just packed with sugar. All right. You could get it from other sources: lemon, garlic, oranges, or you could take a supplement to add on more. But anyway, it says quail meat is higher in vitamin C. Is better for you. Quail gives you vitamin A, whereas chicken does not. And quail also gives you more minerals and amino acids than chicken meat. And that's heavy because Jake loves chicken. Jake thinks chicken is the most healthiest thing. Chicken breast, grilled chicken breast is the most healthiest thing. But here it is right here, right now. The Spirit, the Lord gave Israel quail to eat in the wilderness. Vitamin A. Real fast. I know Shemai one, he's a scientist. He could buzz down the mass benefits of vitamin A in the heartbeat. Let me see. I'm gonna just pull it up real quick since I'm already here. Vitamin A benefits real quick. It says vitamin A is important for the immune system, reproduction, and growth and development. See, it just tells you, chicken doesn't provide that, but quail would, or quail does. Normal vision, vitamin A also help your heart, your lungs, and other organs work properly. All right, and And you know, hey, that's pretty much it right there. But you know, I just looked it up, the health benefits of quail. You know, going back to as we going into how the Lord provided so much quail for Israel, you know, that it became overabundant. And it's going to be the same thing in these times. The Lord is going to provide. And even Jake was complaining about that. You know, they were complaining about that. The Lord provided the manna, the quail. Jake was all caught up on the things that they had in Egypt. But the Lord knows what's sustainable for us, man. And it's going to be the same thing in these times. You know, Jake may find a little quail or something in time. I'm talking about 2/3. And he complained because it's not enough. You know? And the Lord will just had that man waste away, pine away for the hunger because that man ain't got the faith. All right. But the Lord is going to sustain us in these last days. And it's going to be things that are going to be beyond nutritional for our bodies. You know, which, you know, I'm talking about, you know, Jacob's trouble. But even now, brothers got to be on a level to sustain the things that you eat, which is the reason why we going into the diet and nutrition. Mm-hmm. Because even before Jacob's trouble, you got to think about, you know, hold yourself down for now. You know, I mean, your body's a temple, so take care of it now. Yeah. You know, don't wait for all hell to break loose. But you know, that's it, brothers. I pass the mic.
Hey, Nathan Yala, what you got for us? I'm gonna unmute you.
I got a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where to start first, but
let's get it.
You know, we can just start from the beginning. You know, first things, forgive me. I got a lot of tabs open, so if y'all see me scrolling through, forgive me. I'm trying to, you know, get to, yes, these two. So this right here, y'all know about Hippocrates, right? And he wrote a statement, you know, just going into nutrition, and it said, I'm just going to read the first sentence. And it says, let thy food be thy medicine, and let thy medicine be thy food. Okay, now with that being said, what you put into your mouth is the most vital thing for your body. And, you know, what I've learned over the course of a few years is that you cannot allow other people or companies to decide what you put in your body and how, if you know what I mean. Like, basically, like when you go to the store and you buy bread, you're just thinking you're buying a loaf of bread, but what you're really buying is a loaf of poison because of all the ingredients that are in the bread. But you never paid no mind. But then after a few years, you start developing health conditions and you don't understand why, you know, because the food is literally poison. Now, I wanted to bring out a precept before I really got into it. Let me bring out my blue letter real quick. If it'll pull up. All right, well, my computer acting so I just pull it up on my phone. But this is Ezekiel 4:13, and it says, and the Lord saith, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I have driven them. So, you know, all of our food here is defiled, and we're about to get into it. Okay. Now, the medicine is defiled. The food is defiled. Everything is poisonous in this society. If you go directly to the grocery stores and things of that nature to get your food, you have to be very mindful of the ingredients. You have to know what's on the back because the majority of that stuff is poison. So the next thing I want to get is this guy right here. So this guy right here is Rockefeller, right? John Rockefeller. And this guy, man, this dude just looked like a straight demon. But it says how Rockefeller founded Big Pharma and waged war on natural cures. Okay. So I'm just going to read some of it. It says Western medicine has some good points and has some and is great in emergencies, but it is high time people realize that today's mainstream medicine, Western medicine, and allopathy, with its focus on drugs, radiation, drugs, surgery, and drugs, and more drugs, is the foundation. Is foundation a money spinning Rockefeller creation. Now, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit in this paragraph, and I'm gonna go down to where he discovered a way to where he can turn oil into pharmaceutical products. Okay, so right here in this paragraph, it says World Affairs reports at the same time around 1900, scientists discovered pharmaceuticals and the ability to create all kinds of chemicals from oil. For the example, the first plastic called Bakelite was made from oil in 1907. Scientists were discovering various vitamins and guessed that many pharmaceutical drugs could be made from oil. Okay, so it's just not oil. Pharmaceutical drugs, they add these, and I was looking for the code, but I can't find it. You know, it takes some time to dig this stuff up in Slovakia. But next time we do something like this, I'll definitely have it. But the same code for food, according to the FDA, is the same code for a drug. Okay, so drugs and food, as far as the FDA is concerned, are the same thing. You see, so you have to be mindful of the food that you put in your body. So we're going to start off with one called Red 40. Now, they put red dye 40 in just about everything that has color. And it's one of the most widely used food products that you can put in your food. Put in your stuff. And it says red dye 40 is a systemic color additive or food dye made from petroleum. So what do you think drinking petroleum would do to your body over a period of time? Okay. And it says it is one of the 9 certified color additives approved by the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, for the use in food and beverages. It is also approved as a food dye for use within the European Union. And let's go down to some of the side effects. I think this is it. Scroll down a little bit more. It's probably down. Okay. Based on current evidence, the Environment Protection Agency has determined red dye 40. No, that's not true. Red dye 40, I didn't go through all that article pretty well, but red dye 40 has been proven to cause cancer. It's proven to cause ADHD. Red dye 40 is commonly used as a systemic color additive. Some researchers have linked the food dye color into allergies, neurobehavior side effects in children, including symptoms, attention deficit, hyper disorder. Now, you can go into these different articles and you can start reading that red number 40 is made from petroleum, and it has a system of different side effects that destroys the body. Now, where can you find red 40? Well, anything that's red. Anything that has the hue of red, purple, burgundy, like cranberry juice has this stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? Potato chips has this stuff in it. Different types of meats have this stuff in it. So these things are very toxic to the body, and it's everywhere. All right. So, I'm just scratching the surface of some things. There's another additive. This is called aborted fetal cells used as food flavoring enhancers. This company is called Simonex, and it says I'm gonna just scroll down to here. It says hex cell human embryonic kidney 293 cells is often referred to as HEK 293 cells, or less precisely as HEK cells, as specific cell line originally derived from human embryonic kidney cells grown in tissue cultures. HEK 293 cells are very easy to grow and transfect very rapidly, and have been widely used in cell biology research for many years. They also used by the biotech industry to produce therapeutic proteins and viruses for gene therapy. So here's some of the products that they put this stuff in. All PepsiCo drinks: Sierra Mist, Mountain Dew, Root Mug, root beer, Ocean Spray beverages. So if you like cranberry juice and different things of that nature, it's in there. Seattle's Best Coffee, Tazo beverages, Aquafina water. So for people who like Aquafina, you're drinking freaking kidney DNA. Double shot energy drinks, Frappuccinos, Lipton iced tea and other beverages, Propel beverages, Sobe beverages, Gatorade, Fiesta Meridian beverages, Tropicana juices and beverages, Kraft, Black chewing gum, Bubbaloo bubble gum, Bubblicious bubble gum, Cliptix, Coretz, Dentine, Freshen Up, Sour Cherry Gum, Sour Apple Gum, Stride, Trident, Sour Cherry Blast, Fruit Mania. And you can see all of this different stuff. We don't have to go through it all, but as I scroll through the list, you see how many foods that we come across on a day-to-day basis that this stuff is in. So this is another poison that they put in our food, and it's widespread. So let's move on to the next thing. Okay. This right here is it's called Arteria. This is it's like a tobacco company called Arteria, and it bought Kraft Foods for $1.3 billion in 1988. Okay. So these companies, and I'm just going to give you all the overview. So this company puts the same type of poisons that cause you to be addicted to cigarettes in the food. Okay. Rewind to 1985. Arteria buys General Foods. So your General Food like Kellogg's and those different cereal components are Jell-O. All of those different things are owned by these tobacco companies. Okay. Arteria buys its rivals out of food. Okay, so you have these big companies. So Kraft was the last one that they bought, I believe, in 2001. A lot of their foods are banned in other countries because they are poison. Okay, and the people in this country are just so gone in the mind that they don't even take the time to research what's actually in the food products that they here it is right here. The dangers of red 40 to a person's health. And it said, go ahead.
Yeah, shalom to Akim Yabashim Shabakatam, man.
What's going on?
Absolutely. Call to our brother. So I wanted to compliment the brother Nathaniel, and he's a good kinsman of mine. I've seen him in action. He actually practices what he preaches. He makes his meals from scratch. He feeds his children from scratch. He makes his dough, his bread from scratch. The brother juices, and basically what we're seeing here is even though it's a social norm in our society to consume these things, and we're such in a rush, but if you do it, you're gonna lose though. We really can't afford to put these things in our body because, like the brother said, they're poison. And whether it has an immediate effect on you or long term, it's still having an effect on you. So this is it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 9. It says, "Remember the former things of old." All right. Now I saw it was a bit of document that was speaking on the grocery store and the makeup of the grocery store now and in comparison to about a century ago or several decades ago. And 90% of what's in the grocery stores now was not there 50 to 60 to 70 years ago. All right. And so what is that? That stuff is synthetic. That stuff is not food, like the brother said. It's actual poison, man. So just a small thing with the drinks. I heard you mention a lot of different drinks, beverages, and certain chemicals that come along with them. It's as simple as spring water. And of course, we understand certain things are still defiled to a certain extent. But when you're consuming water, let it be spring water, and also juicing, and the Apostle Gabar goes in on that as well. Juicing is very important. If you want to drink something sweet, if you want to drink some quote unquote fruit juice, all right, well, invest in a juicing machine, all right, because you can buy bulk fruit, and you can do it in that format, because in the ancient world it wasn't processed orange juice, it wasn't gas station drinks and all this madness. They had fresh cold pressed juice. They actually pressed the fruit to for their juice, which was a lot more nutritional. So I'm going to finish this scripture off, and I'm going to give it back to the brother. It says, "Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me." So the ways of the Heavenly Father, I believe that's in the book of Ezekiel, he tells the house of Israel, he said, "Are not my ways equal? And are not your ways unequal, O house of Israel? You see, so the ways of the Heavenly Father, they're profitable. You know, they bring forth fruit. But if we are to follow, because, you know, if we're going to follow Esau, I mean, that's going to lead us to taking a chip. You see, it comes a point with this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, we have to separate ourselves from this man's system. And that goes with what you're consuming. You know, if you have the willpower, if you have the capability, which I believe all brothers do, you know, it's just about how bad you want it. Then you're going to make those investments. You're going to organize your life into a certain format so you can consume and feed your family with the right things, man. You know, you got it out. You can continue on.
All right. So going back to right here, the dangers of red 40. It says, just scroll down. It says there are many potential hazards of red dye 40. Major causes of concern, unlike other dyes, red 40 is not excreted from your body. This leads to an accumulation of red dye 40 and leads to many ailments in the body that are harmful in the long run. Red dye 40 food color is used in the following products: gelatin powder, drugs, cosmetics, cereal, candy, baked goods. That's pretty much everything we eat. It says red dye 40 is derived from petroleum, and there are many side effects of red dye 40 if taken for a prolonged period of time. Red dye 40 is prepared. What did it just do? Okay. It just kind of like switched up on me. It says red dye 40 is prepared from coal tars by mixing hydrocarbons together. Here are some of the dangerous red dye 40 to a person's health. Red dye 40 is the root of many problems, which include swelling around the mouth. Besides, the red 40 dye also leads to hives, which contain some contaminants that leads to cancer and also causes hyperactivity in kids. All these findings are substantiated by a large number of medical studies, and tests have been concluded in the labs to verify the claims of numerous children who consume high quantities of food, which consist of red 40 food color. I'm gonna just tell you a little story real quick. And I'm big on stories. My stepdaughter, who's 18 years old, just had to have gallbladder surgery. You know, and one of her favorite foods to eat was Takis. Now, Takis is high in red 40. That's why it's red. So her gallbladder filled up to the point to where it was about to burst. And if it would have burst, it would have killed her. Now, she's 18 years old. Why is her gallbladder filled with all of this putrid poison? You know? So we're going to move on to the next thing.
That's all you see if you driving by the bus stop. You know, my father used to take us, you know, he used to drive me around, and every time at the bus stop, he'd see a 200-pound 16-year-old, and he'd always point her out. Look what she got in her hand, the bag of chips. And I mean, they go crazy for them Takis and them hot Cheeto fries, and that's what really Jake is raised up on, that poison, man. Real quick, I want to grab something real quick. This is Job 15:27. It says, because he covereth his face with his fatness and maketh collops of fat on his flanks. And in the NLT, it says, these wicked people are heavy and prosperous. Their waist bulge with fat. You know, but these days, it's not just the rich that got the fat waists and the, you know, you go into Isaiah, the first chapter, was that third chapter? It tells you how they gird, you know, their fat around their waist, you know, gird. Y'all know what I'm referencing, right?
Yeah, about the woman.
Yeah, about the woman. Yeah, and that's just one of these. That's what I was thinking about as you were speaking. That's just one of these curses on our people, is that overeat and overindulgent, man. You know, and you get into that spirit of gluttony and overconsumption of food, which is another issue, because you can't have nutrition. Here it is, you know, all these nutritional facts coming out, right? And then you still over consuming the BS, man. You know, because it's cheap. You know, the scriptures talk about victuals becoming cheap in these end times, and the food is cheap. And what they want to do, overconsume it, man. People's fridge is filled with nothing but like what they call it, bad carbs, right? Little fast, what is it, fast carbs?
Yeah.
I got picture of it too. Zaquan.
Bad carbs, yeah.
You know, and why do they eat that? Because it's easy and it's cheap. You got
it's actually called simple carbs.
Mm.
And then you got the complex carbs. The simple carbs would be what you're talking about, like the brothers, the Takis, the chips, the sodas, the popcorn. That's simple carbs. You know, but then you got the complex carbs, which would be your vegetables, your whole grain, and those obviously are they're a natural source of carbohydrates, which carbs ain't bad for you. You know, it's whatever source you go to. Now, just like anything else, it's a balance. You got good and bad, you know, good and evil, right? Now, Esau set up the evil shit, the bad shit, which is pretty much sugar. Simple carbs is nothing but sugar. All right. Now, like Shimon got into earlier, you know, everything you eat, it pretty much converts into glucose, which is your body's natural way of creating sugar. So if you're eating sugar, simple carbs, soda, then what the hell is that? What is your body converting already sugar, artificial sugar into? That's how you get diabetes. You know what I'm saying? All that overload on sugar. But now if you do complex carbs, you know, that digests or that distributes throughout your body over time. It doesn't just process right away. Like that's why you feel more full if you eat brown rice or black rice, wild rice, whole grain. You feel more fuller because it takes longer to break down. It takes longer to digest in your body to release that glucose in your body. So it sustains you for a longer period of time. That's why when you eat simple carbs, you get hungry right away. You know, you may go to the movies, eat popcorn and what do you call it? Popcorn and drink soda and them little snacks that they got. You hungry as soon as you get back to the crib. You know, so them simple carbs they just keep you hungry. That sugar keeps you hungry. It messes your body up. So complex carbs, oatmeal, you know, any type of vegetable, green vegetables, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, just to answer your question, bro, you said what was it? Simple carbs versus complex carbs. You know.
Hey, Bob, you got some? You got a preset?
Yeah, I got a preset. So this is the book of this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 1. It says, "A false balance is abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight." And like the brother Amwan was going into, when you're consuming these pseudo carbs or these sugary treats, you know, what it does is, what it does is it causes your body and your metabolism to think that you're not full and you're not satiated, and you're not, because you didn't receive nutrients. You didn't receive the zinc. You didn't receive the iodine. You didn't receive the fiber. These are the nutrients and the minerals that your anatomy, that your body needs to be comforted, that it needs to function properly. And when you're just consuming something that doesn't have a high nutritional value, you're liable to overconsume, which is going to be an abomination. And not only is it an abomination because you're being gluttonous in that regard, but it's abomination because these things, we talk about these pseudo carbs and things of that nature, they're just bad for you, period. It doesn't matter if you take a small amount or a large amount. You know, it's terrible for your body. And we're coming into the time, especially considering that brothers are about to be receiving spiritual powers. Brothers are about to be healing. You know, brothers are about to come up on another level. So we really do, Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, he really is requiring us to separate ourselves from this man's devices, because this food, when you're dealing with, of course, we understand that, yes, you know, it's not the food that it was 1,000 years ago. It's not the Garden of Eden. We understand that. But there is a difference between you investing in some whole foods, which whole mean complete, you know, or some, you know, some healthy so-called organic vegetables. It's a difference from you consuming that and you consuming some sugary sweets. You know, and that has to be considered. And also, furthermore, the brother was mentioning how certain these foods are cheap, like these foods that are not necessarily good for you. But it's a way you can go about consuming healthy food. You can meal prep, which that's going to save you more money than you going and buying this bullshit. Period. If you meal prep, it saves a lot of money. And also, we're a family. With the Akim, so on and so forth, you can consider wholesale. Wholesale saves a lot of money. So say, for instance, you can wholesale on, bags of rice and split it up amongst maybe another brother. So a brother have some brown rice for his household. You have brown rice for your household, and you can eat a big 20-pound, 30-pound bag of rice that'll last you a long time. You can go wholesale. You can go to the meat market and get a goat's leg or a cow leg, something like that. You go in with a couple brothers. It might take a little bit longer. Like, okay, I got to process it. Maybe butcher it up a little bit. It's only gonna take a couple hours though, but you're gonna be eating completely different. Sometimes we just got to slow down and just reprioritize what we consuming. You go ahead, Akim.
Brother Nathaniel, you want to get back in it?
Con, man, con. It's a couple more articles to go over, and just to land back on what the brother was saying. We had actually been talking about purchasing a cow and having that thing slaughtered. You know what I'm saying, on our own. But yeah, because I got some Issacharites that have a farm. You know what I'm saying? And we've been talking about purchasing an organic cow, a cow that's grass-fed, that doesn't have that bovine growth hormone in it that causes the meat to become putrefied. The meat isn't cancerified. They're not cutting out the cancerous tissue and then selling it to you, because that's what they do. But I'm going to continue on with these articles. Then we're going to go into what you can do. You know what I'm saying? So this right here is 30 common U.S. foods that are banned in other countries. Oh, yeah. So farm-raised salmon. People in the United States love salmon. However, farm-raised salmon available in America is fed astaxanthin to give it its color. Salmon containing this petrochemical is banned for consumption in Australia and New Zealand. So, as you can see, they put in petroleum products in the food. Okay. The next one is dairy with RBST or RBGH hormones. Milk in the United States, unless marked as otherwise, is treated with a RBST or RBGH, which are artificial hormones that stimulate milk production. The FDA says that there is no difference in the milk produced by cows treated with the hormone, but countries like Canada and those in Europe, the European Union, banned it. Yeah. Okay. So continuing on, Mountain Dew. We already know about that. You're drinking that, you off anyway. Chicken. Yeah, chicken banned in other countries. Chicken produced in the United States gets washed in chlorine to reduce the risk of spreading disease and illness like salmonella. The practice is banned in the United Kingdom and in Europe because it promotes unsanitary farming practices. So basically, they can treat their chicken like garbage, and the chicken can be covered in fecal matter, and then they'll just butcher it and sell it to you. And they'll even sell you birds that died on their own accord. You know what I'm saying? A bird that just died, and they'll kill that thing, put it on the shelf, and sell it to you because they have techniques used to preserve and to make these meats look better than what they actually are. All right. The next is beef. Beef with ractopamine. In the United States, farmers use this ractopamine to increase lean muscle growth in livestock, including in 40 to 60% of pigs. We don't eat that anyway. Elsewhere, 160 nations, including the European Union, Russia, and China, ban the use of this meat in their production. And the Chinese, they eat cats and dogs and rats and bats, and they ban this shit. Continuing on, Swiss rolls, Little Debbie Swiss rolls. It contains, of course, yellow number 5 and red number 40. We already covered the toxicity of that. Arby's sourdough breakfast and croissant French toast sticks. The fast food chains using the chemical, I can't even pronounce that. And the rule of thumb, if you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't be putting it in your body. As a whitening agent and dough conditioner in its baked goods, although it is used is decreasing in the United States because of concerns of its carcinogen in the FDA still is permitted. It was banned in Europe. So this stuff is carcinogenic, which means it causes cancer, and it is banned in other countries, but in the US, they feed it to us. All right, Frosted Flakes, BHT. BHT flavor enhancer has long been studied. Now, this is in almost all General Mills and Kellogg's produced products. Okay. Continuing on, coffee creamer, trans fat like partially hydrogenated soybean and cotton oils in coffee made are linked to heart disease and were officially banned in the U.S. as of June 18, 2018. However, they still linger in the U.S. food supply. They also banned in many other countries such as Switzerland, Australia, Hungary, Iceland, and Norway. So, continuing on, it's just stovetop stuffing, drumstick frozen dairy dessert, Skittles, wheat thins, Gatorade, Pop-Tarts, Farmer John pork sausage, we don't eat that anyway, Lucky Charms, bread tainted with potassium bromate, Tostino's corn salsa, they sell this stuff to us. Ritz crackers, okay? Ritz goes the third leading cracker banned in the United States. It's banned in Switzerland, Hungary, Iceland, Norway, Denmark. It is toxic. Fresca, all right? Genetically engineered papaya, Pillsbury biscuits. You see all this stuff that we see on a day-to-day basis: Sunkist soda, fudge brownies, Pillsbury pie crust.
Like 50% of the cabinet right there for a lot of Jakes.
Yeah, high fructose corn syrup, which is everything. So we're not going to linger on with this, but I just wanted to give you all, overview of how many things in this country that are actually banned. I mean, in overseas that are banned, but are still produced, are still given here. So the next one we're going to get is sugar. Okay, sugar. We kept going into sugar. The brother brought it out. Yaquab and the brother Adawon Gabar, he brought it out, the dangers of sugar, because sugar, what it is a highly processed form of sugar. Okay, it is a highly processed. It is not it's not complex. You see, your body, the way your body is designed when you consume food to break the food down slowly. Okay, so that your body can absorb all of the nutrients and benefits of the food that you're consuming properly. Okay. When you take something that's highly processed, your body cannot recognize it because it is not natural. It is not a substance that's naturally occurring in nature. When the Lord created man and he created the fruits of the earth, he created them in tangent with one another. So that's why he said that all of the fruit bearing seed is good for meat, because it's good for us to eat. It's good for our bodies. It has regenerative properties in it. What Esau does is he takes all of the things and refine them to the point to where they become toxic. Okay, so the danger: too much added sugar can be one of the greatest threats to cardiovascular disease. Here's how to curb your sweets. So we're not going to get into all that stuff. We're just going to go into where it says, since your body digests food slowly, the sugar in them often a steady supply of energy in your cells. A high intake of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains also has been shown to reduce the risk of chronic disease such as diabetes, heart disease, and some cancers. However, problems occurring when consuming too much sugar is that sugar that is sugar that food manufacturers add to produce products to increase flavor or shelf life. It says scientists have proven that chronic low-grade inflammation can turn into a silent killer that contributes to cardiovascular disease, cancer type 2, diabetes, and other conditions. You see that? Get simple tips on how to fight inflammation and stay healthy. So, sugar is a silent killer. Did you know that a can of Coca-Cola, half of it is liquid sugar? The whole can, half of it is liquid sugar. Now, let me tell you something. If you take the amount of sugar that's in a Coca-Cola and just drink it, you will vomit it up. Your body will not recognize it and your body will vomit it up. What they do is they put a certain chemical inside of the Coke to trick the body into thinking that it is actually something that the body can use. So then your body keeps it down. That's what they do. You see what I'm saying? So your body is keeping the poison in. So now you're wondering why we have this influx of diabetes, this influx of heart disease, of hypertension, all of these fungal infections and different things that are happening to the body, because things that you were never meant to eat are going into your body. Okay, so we're going to continue on. Wax on fruits. Okay, so when you go to the store and you buy fruit, you notice that it's this shiny substance on the fruit, right? You notice that, right? You see this. What is that? That is a preservative that they spray on the fruit to make the fruit last longer. Well, this wax causes a lot of diseases in the body, okay? Because it is a petroleum-based wax. You see? And it says right here, it says, ignorant is bliss unless you are on a special diet or prefer to avoid eating fossil fuels. So, you know, you can get into this, but this article, for time's sake, I'm not going to read it. But just to tell you all, wax coatings are put on these fruits as a preservative. And if you don't wash them off properly, you are eating the wax. This stuff is on strawberries, cherries, grapes, apples, oranges, peaches, plums, whatever you can think of that's in the store. It has this wax coating on you. Have you ever wondered how is it that this?
Let the people know how to wash it off correctly.
Okay, so the crazy thing is that if you take baking soda, okay, water and vinegar, it will dissolve the wax from your fruits and vegetables. So everything that I eat, including like chicken or beef or anything, I always wash it. I wash the meats in vinegar, because once you put the meat in the vinegar water, you will start to see the bacteria, the fungus, and the mold separate itself from the meat. Okay, because if you eat that, you're eating the fecal matter from the food being processed in unsanitary conditions. You're eating that. Okay, you're eating the chemicals that are on the food. Okay, so when you soak that food in the vinegar extracts all that stuff, and you can see it in the water. And the same with the fruits. The fruit will actually change color. Not the fruit, but the water will actually change color to like a light brownish color, because the alkalinity of the water is going to cause the oil to dissolve. Okay, so that's how you get it off. But it's better to try to find organic fruits that are not sprayed with the substance in the first place, because truly, if it's sprayed with the substance is going to absorb into the fruit itself. So even if you get all of the wax off, it's still within the fruit itself. So when you eat the fruit, you're eating this poison. Okay, so we're going to close that out. Now we're going to go into some of the health benefits of eating healthy. A healthy diet is typically includes of nutrient-dense foods from all major food groups, including lean proteins, whole grains, healthy fats, and fruits and vegetables, and many colors. Now, I just want to clear something up. They will have you believe that animal fats like butters and things of that nature, and olive oil and avocado oil are bad for you. No, these fats are actually good for the body. Okay. Because these fats are the ones that causes mineral and energy transfer throughout the body. Okay. Now, homogenated oils, or oils that are created under high pressure and high heat, like rapeseed oil, which we call canola oil, is highly toxic. Okay. Vegetable oil, which it's not actual vegetable oil. It's made from, I can't remember exactly what it's made from, but it's not made from the vegetables that you and I eat. They just call it that. Cottonseed oil, grapeseed oil, all of these different oils that are created under a high pressure and high heat are very toxic to the body. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. It says eating habits also include replacing foods that contains trans fats and added salts and sugars with more nutritional options. Now, salt is also a big killer. You know, sodium is too much sodium can do things like clog up your kidneys, okay, and cause high blood pressure and things of that nature. Because of the sodium content in the food. Now, you think when you eat food, right, you think that, oh, it doesn't taste salty. It doesn't. There's no. Esau has a way of making, because he puts the salt and the sugar in the food as a preservative. Okay, these things are preservative to keep the food fresh. Have you ever wondered why a loaf of bread? Now, I make bread fresh. How is it that a loaf of bread that I put in my cabinet will last 2 weeks, but a loaf of bread that I make from scratch will last 3 days? What are you putting in this bread to make it last so long? You see? So I'm going to eat that. My children are going to eat that. And this is why we become obese. This is why we become sick. This is why we have weak immune systems, because of the poisons that they put in the food on the shelf. Okay. It says, now we're not going to get into this. We're just going to get into the whole thing. We're just going to get into high blood pressure or hypertension is a growing concern in the U.S. The condition can lead to heart attack. It may be possible to prevent up to 80% of premature heart disease and stroke diagnosis with lifestyle changes. Now, I just want to get into something. The word diet does not mean, oh, I'm just going to cut back on certain stuff. Diet is a way of life. Okay. A diet literally means a way of life. So when you eat certain foods, that food is your way of life. That is how you're living from day to day. And as I brought out earlier, you are what you eat. Let thy medicine be thy food, and thy food be thy medicine. So if you're eating garbage, you're putting poison in your body. If you're eating pink slime from McDonald's and Burger King and things of that nature and artificially made buns, you're putting poison in your body. This is why we have such, and let me tell you something, Jake is a target. This is why all of these different these different food companies primarily target impoverished neighborhoods. That's why when you go into certain neighborhoods, it's what we call a food desert, because they don't have the nutritionally dense food that you will go out in the Edomite neighborhoods and pick up. You see what I'm saying? So Jake is at a disadvantage. They purposely put certain toxic foods in Jake community, like milk, for instance, like we just read about the milk with the certain chemicals in it. That stuff is shipped out into Jake neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? And our people be drinking that crap. It says the food people can eat can reduce blood pressure and help keep their hearts healthy. Okay. So we're just going to get into some of this: eating plenty of vegetables and fruits and whole grains. Now, this is really important because fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, especially fruits. Fruits is one of the best things you can eat because fruit contain the fiber and the pectin within the fruit to make you feel full. Okay. Also giving you the same benefits.
Got a quick one for you.
Go ahead.
This is Genesis 1:29. And Yahweh said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so.
See?
You got it, brother.
Beautiful precept. Okay. So let me ask a question, and it's a rhetorical question. When you eat fruits and vegetables, is the fruit alive or dead? It's alive. It's living. It's living. So you're putting living, a living organism into your body to regenerate your body. You see? But when you go out and you eat what Esau has done, you're not eating living. You're eating death. So what happens? What comes with that food when you eat it? All of the diseases and problems that come with it. Okay. So fruits, whole grains, choosing fat-free or low-fat dairy products, fish, poultry, beans, nuts, and vegetable oils. Now, vegetable oils, no, that's not true. Vegetable oils are very toxic and caustic for the body unless it is olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, or different types of butters that are organic butters, butters that come from cows. All of these things are good for you. Regardless of what they say, it's good for you. Limiting drinks and foods that contain added sugar. Everything has a ton of sugar. This is why we make our food. I make my food from scratch. Okay. Not only does the food taste 100 times better than buying it, it is better for my body. Okay. Restricting sodium intake to less than 2,300 milligrams per day, ideally 1,500 milligrams per day. We were just talking about the consumption of sodium. All right. So I'm going to get into some things that can help your body. Okay. So these are some of the, before I get into that, these are some of the things that causes your body to become into a disease state. Now, there's something that we have, it's called the microbiota gut-brain axis. Okay. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics of the article because it's kind of a complicated read, but what I will say is that there is a direct correlation between the functionality of your brain and the health of your intestines, okay? It is a direct correlation between what you put in here and what goes in here. You see what I'm saying? So if down here is messed up here is going to be messed up too. So here you have for instance, schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is when the neural pathways are coated with mucus. Okay, where does that mucus come from? It comes from the bull crap that you put inside of your body. Okay, because none of this stuff isn't being expelled properly out of your body, because most people have at least 10 pounds of poop inside of their stomach, and they eat a whole bunch of toxic foods that clog up their intestinal tract, so they cannot discharge the waste properly. So over time, the poop builds up in their stomach, and then because they have bad gut health, which is the center of the health of the body, right? This is where your intestines is the primary place where all of the health is distributed at. This is where you have the most receptors for vitamin and mineral absorption in the body. This is where your water and your food is dispersed throughout the body. It all goes through your intestinal tract. So if your intestinal tract is unhealthy, the rest of you is going to be unhealthy as well.
Now I got 3 steps, bro.
Go ahead, Op.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 31, and I'll start at 19. It says, "Very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured, and he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed. Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. He riseth up early, and his wits are with him, which is his mind." Just to add on to what you're saying through the spirit, you know, the gut, the mind and gut health, how they coincide with each other, what you eat, them like you just mentioned, the pounds and pounds of toxic waste, which is the fecal matter, the shit, you know. So sound sleep comes from moderate eating. So moderately eating, and not just moderately eating, but eating the right foods, like you mentioned. Also, diet means a way of life, proper diet. All right. It says he rise up early, and his wits are with him, meaning his mind. All right. So you eat right, your mind will be right. Point blank. Period. You know, you eating, because remember, parasites is another thing. You know, parasites can infest the body and really take control of your body. Parasite is a demon. A parasite can really take over your mind, bro. Mm-hmm. You know, we probably get into that now or some other time, but parasites is a damn demon. You know, it says his wits are with him, but the pain of watching and chola, which is a disease and sickness, and the pangs of the belly, the pains are with the unsatiable man, a man that doesn't have control over what he eats. So what happens with that man that does not have control over what he eats? He ain't functioning properly. His mind ain't right. All he can think about is eating. And guess what? He's targeting the foods that are high in MSG. You know, like you said, Esau be high in the salt. You know, the preservatives, because we know salt is a preservative. You know, and things that last long, it's got to be high in salt, aka sodium, to have it be lasting that long, giving them long shelf lives. You know, canned goods, high in salt. You know, a lot of things that just last long is just high in salt, sodium. You know, but anyways, you know, just to land back what you're saying, it says, "And if thou hast been forced to eat, arise and go forth and vomit, and thou shalt have rest." And that's funny, it says vomit, because you mentioned also too how with the Coca-Cola, because they did a diagram. You know, they showed you a bottle of Coke and how much grams of sugar it had, and they show you actual illustration of white sugar in a cup, a measuring cup, and the white sugar was damn near halfway, if not 4 ounces, not 4 ounces, but it was high up there, bro. It was enough that if you swallow back that white sugar, you would vomit.
As spirit,
you know you would vomit.
It up.
You know, yeah, absolutely, bro. Cotton candy ain't nothing but sugar. You know, hey, bro, this diet shit is serious, bro. Matter of fact, let me get one more precept, and I'm gonna let you go on with that. What you're saying, bro. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 minute. Bear me 1 moment. This is Ecclesiastes, chapter 30, and verse 15. It says, "Health and good estate of body are above all gold." So being healthy, you know, having a healthy state of body, a good estate of your body, is above riches. And how does that come? One, by following the dietary laws of the Heavenly Father. You know, that's number one. Number two is having a balance. Because even though the Lord gave us dietary laws, don't mean you can overconsume beef, lamb, you know, things that are edible. Don't overconsume it. There's a balance behind it. And even exercise, which Lord willing, I reply mouth. You know, you said that was gonna be the next the next segment of your show eventually was the exercise. But even that comes into play when it comes to the diet. The body functions as a unit. You know, you can't have one without the other, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sleep, diet, health, nutrition, exercise, they all play a major role into making this body functional. And the Lord gave us these things, even though we in his weak, decrepit bodies, there's a level of maintenance we got to keep even still. You know what I'm saying? So it says health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. So it's best to have a healthy body, healthy state of mind, because if you have a healthy body, your mind is healthy, you eating right to the best of your ability. Now we know we in hell, don't mean we got to eat shit that hell have to offer. You know what I'm saying? The low grade stuff. Yeah. You know, even though we try to get the good fruits and vegetables and all that, we still gonna get the bullshit. But it's better than eating them fast food, them trans fat food, them fats that change up in your body, clog your arteries, you know, raise your blood pressure, give you diabetes, you know, not having your body to produce its own natural insulin, you know, stay away from them things, man. And that's what this lesson is gearing towards. You know, if you've been following, it says there is no riches above a sound body, a good body, a body that is healthy. You know, no riches can top that, because you can't buy a healthy body. Doesn't matter how much heart transplants you get, how many kidney transplants you get, liver transplants, or whatever type of transplant you're trying to get. It's never going to be the same. All right. Like I was telling a dude on the job today, we was talking about something, but they say 30 years of a bad diet, you can't make up for that in 3 months or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's impossible. You know, it's impossible. You done wore your body out. You done wore yourself out for 10 years, 20 years, but you expect fast results overnight. That's impossible. That's why, again, brother, like you said, Nathaniela, the word diet, it literally means dietero and whatever tongue I forget, but it literally means a way of life. You know, a diet is not just a phase or a segment of your life. Yeah, I'm on a diet. It's really your lifestyle, bro. Now we come short, we fall off. We don't fall off plenty of times. We eat good, and then some shit may happen. You exercising, some shit may happen. You may lose your job, then you home for a couple months. You may get laid off. Now you home for a couple months. Now I was thinking about this earlier too. Working is great. It's good to work. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to all be working as men, and work actually occupy your time, because without work actually going on a job and laboring, let's say you go out there, you working for 8 hours. It take you an hour to get there, hour to come back, and then 8 hours actually working. That's 8 hours just exercising yourself, you know, moving, physically, grinding, whatever. Now, if you don't have them 8 hours, now you got 8 hours idle time at home. Doing what? Yep. Sitting on the couch, getting fat, drinking liquor,
being bored,
doing bullshit. You know?
Yeah.
So hey, I use work as a stream of, you know, trying to stay fit to the best of my ability, bro. Yeah. You know, it's 8 hours that you have to burn. You know you gotta pay them bills, so you might as well, you know.
Hey, when you're working also, brother, you can monitor your body. Like there's some days you're gonna come in you groggy. Yesterday you was good, but today you all messed up. You start considering what you ate. You start considering how much you had. Yeah, you get real critical of what you take back. You know, there's a scripture that talk about redeeming the time, which means buying back your time. That's essentially like in this last days, you gotta take your time back. You know, from a lot of people, you got to sacrifice this, that, just to take your time back. It worked the same way with the body. It's more discipline than anything. When you at work, you can notice, man, I'm tired today. What the hell happened, man? Oh, I was up all night doing this. Exactly. And a lot of that irregular sleeping come from a bad diet too. You'd be surprised. You'd be thinking better with a decent diet, right? You use the bathroom more times, more often, right? They say they act like using the bathroom more often is a bad thing.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing, man. That means the food's just passing through as they should. Yeah. You know, a lot faster. And after you, I got something too.
Yeah, no, beautiful points, bro. Shit, beautiful points, man. Like you said, you know, work, you know, going on the grind, which, you know, we gotta work with slavery, whatever, but that's no excuse. It helps monitor your lifestyle. whether you was fucking around the night before and got 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep, you're gonna know. I'm gonna know. Lord, you're gonna know if you're paying attention to your body what you did wrong, and then you know how to fix it. We talked about it already, bro. I personally, if I gotta go out there, the shit I do, I don't fuck with my sleep, bro. I make sure I get my sleep because I know how I'm gonna be if I don't get enough sleep out there. So I try to get enough things done throughout the day. Time management, bro. Time management is another thing that people don't really pay attention to, bro. Time management is important, bro. Manage your time properly. If you manage your time properly, you manage the way you eat, when to cut off your eating point, when to do certain things. Just manage everything, bro. I mean, we're men. Be responsible, bro. Time management, money management, whatever management. You know what I'm saying? Time management is very important, bro, because time management actually organizes your daily structure, so to speak, even with this truth. When you gonna do your videos, when you gonna do your lessons, when you gotta go to camp, get ready for camp, go to sleep, eat your food, get your house in order, your kids, your woman, that blah blah, whatever. Time management is important. That's another thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be winging shit 24/7. Don't be winging shit, bro. That shit is like, come on. Hey, you said redeeming the time, meaning buy back the time. Because if you keep fucking with time, you ain't getting that back. You're not getting that back, bro. I always tell people that shit. Time is the one thing you can never get back. So use that shit wisely, bro. Huh?
The most important resource, time.
Come on, bro. You ain't getting that back. You ain't getting that back. Let me finish that up, and I'm gonna pass the rock, man. It says, verse 17 in Ecclesiastes 30:17, death is better than a bitter life of continual sickness. Come on, bro. Esau promotes that sickness. All right, Esau, everywhere we go, bro, it's like death is in front of you. That the book of Psalms. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I mean, that's on every level. The way you think, the way you eat, the sins we commit, shit. Esau, we Jake, bro. I be talking to elder brother Yakwa about this, man. The kingdom, I love eating, bro. We love eating. We Israelites, we love to eat. And the kingdom, we don't have to worry about getting fat, being overweight, getting sick, getting the niggeritis. All right, we're gonna eat and be sustained, bro. We're gonna be able to eat all day, drink, and not have to worry about no goddamn gut,
hangovers,
no heart attack, high cholesterol. You know what I'm saying? But in this society, Esau purposely put that in front of us because it's a slow kill. The scriptures tell you that we're gonna eat poison, or eat our fruits or food defiled among the Gentiles, man. We shall eat poison and live. And that's literally what we're doing because of this truth's sake. All right, because we got the word to push. The Lord knew we were gonna be eating shit. That's why he told Ezekiel to eat man's dung. But he didn't eat it. Ezekiel was like, Lord, I ain't never eaten nothing so vile in my life. So the Lord lowered it down, gave him a lesser sentence, and had him eat cow shit. Which is way better than eating human shit, but we might as well be eating human shit. That's why I pray over your food, man. Sometimes don't even question it. Just, Lord, have mercy on my soul, and then eat your shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Jay be like, yo, this shit tastes good. Nigga, you probably really eat shit, and you don't know.
Yeah.
We the worst case scenario, bro.
I got something for you too when you're ready.
Yep, it says death is better than a bitter life of continual sickness. Now let me jump down to verse 25, and I'm gonna pass it. It says, a cheerful and a good heart will have a care over his meat and diet. All right, so a cheerful and a good heart, a cheerful mind. This truth should bring you in a state of cheerfulness and a good heart. Because that there's life after death. All right, there's life after this. That this ain't the end all be all. All right, the end of our life ain't McDonald's and Wendy's. It ain't. All right, or fast food or whatever, a quick fix, because that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the end all be all, man. A good and cheerful heart will have a care over his meat, the things that you eat. You watch what you eat, even though it's lawful, doesn't mean it's expedient. Paul said that, right? All things are lawful, but not all things are expedient, right? Okay. Now, you can apply that to the food. It's lawful. Right. Should I eat 10 burgers? Should I eat 10 hot dogs, beef hot dogs at a cookout? Should I drink unlimited sources of Budweiser, Yayan, because it's lawful? No. Think about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Have a conscious, man. You know, what you eating. You know, easier said than done. You know, we all fall in and out of that lifestyle and that slump. But we practicing, bro. We rehearsing. Scripture said rehearse a righteous act, but we rehearsing it, bro. You know, we may fall off. What we talking now, we may find ourselves in a bad situation where we fell off on our diet. Now we got to get back on it, right? It happens all the time. You find yourself gaining more weight. Damn, I fell off. Well, now you got to get back on. That's just how it go, bro. We in fucking hell. So it said, cheerful and a good heart will have a cure over his meat and diet. Diet, like the brother brought out, Nathaniela, a lifestyle, man. Think about your lifestyle, and literally means a lifestyle, meaning a lifestyle is long term. All right, a lifestyle is long term. It ain't short term. It ain't I'm gonna go on a diet for a week and then I'm gonna hop off. No, that shit's supposed to be in your mind, embedded in you for the long run. You know, what they say? What's the saying go? Shoot for the stars, you're gonna reach the moon, or shoot for the moon, you reach the stars, one or the other. You know, set your standards high, and then you're gonna, you know, supersede your expectations, so to speak, man. It's that simple, bro. All it takes is discipline. That's it. And when you get into that rhythm, man, you don't even want to break it. You don't even want to break it, man. You know? But yeah, I got it.
This is Psalm 69 and 18. Draw nigh unto my soul and redeem it. Deliver me because of mine enemies. We need deliverance. And King David spoke the same about it. Make sure this is David. Yep, this is Psalm of David. He says in verse 20, so he says, mine adversaries are all before thee. Salaki, deliver me from my enemies, verse 18. Verse 19, thou hast known my reproach. The Most High knows exactly what we're going through. What we going through? Eating this poison down here. Having to decide whether this food is going to kill me or give me some type of disease. And then having to go through all of that and not having enough money to eat it. All right. It says, in my shame and my dishonor, the Lord knows what we're dealing with here. Mine adversaries are all before me. You see Paul mentioning his adversaries, right? Which a little off topic, not too far. You got it's time. We living in a time in which our people want to acknowledge all of our situations going on without acknowledging our adversaries. They want to return back to the Son and the Father without acknowledging the adversaries that the Lord has set before us. He knows our reproach. It says, reproach hath broken my heart. I am full of heaviness. And I looked for some to take pity, but there was none. And for comforters, but I found none. And you go through this life, this existence, this vain existence that's we in right now. This pretty much alternate universe, if you compare it to the world to come, where we're going to be ruling. This place of darkness, this chains of darkness heavy about us. Of course, you're going to be all depressed and sad. And a lot of the foods you eat from the time you go to work and you waking up in the morning, you already had enough. If you in your right mind, you already tired. You know, the least you could do is just try to put the right foods in your stomach, right? That's where discipline begins. And like we was going into healing last week, and you know, Abaratazah, next week we're going into exercise, because these things actually transform you. Hey, I'm a witness to it. These brothers is witness to it, how your food health and taking care of your gut, right? The brothers going into how the gut is interlinked with the mind, basically. And how your brain function has everything to do with what you eating. Earlier in the video, Shemaiah went into all the herbs and the minerals that you're supposed to be consuming on a normal day. And without those, what do? Who can you fight back against? It says, and I looked for some to take pity, but there was none, and for comforters, but I found none. Check this out. Verse 21, they gave me also gall for my meat. And in my thirst, they gave me vinegar to drink. Our enemies had one job back then, and they still do. Poison. When you go into the NLT, it says, but instead they give me poison for food. They offer me sour wine for thirst. What was brother just recognizing? Brother Nathaniel just brought it out. Red 40, leading to ADHD and all the other illnesses. Foods that are illegal in other countries and legal here in America. This got to be the... This is Psalms 69 and 21. They gave me gall for my meat, and in my thirst, they gave me vinegar to drink. So Paul, yeah.
Salaki, bro, if I may add, hey, that ties right into the prophecy of what they did to Yahushua. You heard?
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah, they gave him gall.
How they did Yahushua?
Right.
You know?
Which is like a mixture. It's a disgusting mixture. Some say it was piss in there. You know, some scholars say it was piss, which it wasn't. You can't get the Lord that, because he had to be a perfect without blemish. But some scholars go off and say that. But it's also mixed with vinegar. We know that with gall.
Gone.
You know, and so yeah, that's matter of fact, I think I pull it up right here. Matthew 27:34. They gave him vinegar to drink mingled with gall, and when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. You know, that's the same thing our ancestors been going through with our enemies. They gave him who gave him that? The Romans, right? And so that's the situation. We still dealing with the Romans, the modern day Edomites, so-called white men. Verse 22. Let their table become a snare before them. So the most Paul, David is asking that the Lord set them up, give them one back. Matter of fact, let everything that they have, their table, let everything that they've earned, let everything that they worship, let everything that they worked hard for, all right, become a snare or a trap. It says, which should have been for their welfare. And that which should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. So the Most High is going to take all of their prosperity away, which is their welfare. And he's going to return judgment upon their heads for that. All of this poison that he's been feeding us. And brothers just going into the poison of food. Then there's the air and the water, which all of this you need just to live and get by. So they'll trap and snare their own just to get at the children of Israel. Because at the end of the day, you see, it's all about the children of Israel. The elites of their own don't even care about the lessers of their own. That's why money, the rich and the poor have nothing to do with each other. I think the scripture says it's like a sheep and a wolf, lamb and a wolf. They don't mix, right? And so we asking for these same things, right? As we considering the things that we supposed to be eating, and we got to consider the times are old, because in the ancient world, what was Jake doing? Jake was just complaining about our situation endlessly, right? When you go to Numbers 11:4, it says, in the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. You see how there's starvation for excess, and Jake's need for convenience overshadows their need for salvation, and overshadows their reverence for the higher power, man. You know, you can't give up to your flesh, man. Here it is. Some days you got to do something called fasting in order to get things right for you. How are you going to do that when all you want to do all day long is eat? So it takes certain type of disciplines. That's why the Lord gave us that manna, right? He gave us that manna because of all of that crying we was doing in the wilderness, man. And that same lot is back here. Last scripture, this is Proverbs 23 and verse 20. It says, be not among wine bibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh. You know, people just overly consuming, man. You go to certain cookouts, family dinners and whatnot, banquets. You go to don't go to a all you can eat buffet. You're gonna see the worst of the worst there, man. You see it. That's about the most devious place you can dine at, man. All you can eat buffet, man. Be not among wine bibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh, for the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe the man with rags. Meaning you always sleeping. My father used to say, nothing to come to a sleeper but a dream. You know, we talking about this. The scriptures go into proper etiquette. The brother brought it out last week. When you eat in proper etiquette around brothers, Jake always got their hand in the dish first. And really, if you can master food, which is them, you know, Gluttony is one of the super demons out here, especially in America. When you can master your intake of food, you can master your diet, which the brother's going into, it's a way of life. And you can master these things through your Yahweh Shem Yahushua, now that you know it is beneficial for certain things like focus and energy. When you can master that, man, you can master all types of things. And once again, you could increase the amount of times you fast. You know, you can't be that guy that fasts once a year on the Day of Atonement. You can't be that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Through the spirit of this brother here, you know, he pushes me to, you know, get in that spirit a lot. You know, the elder, you know, I'm one pushing, and I'm pushing, and I challenge brothers as well out there, man. Increase your amount of fasting. Now that's the real sacrifice right there. You know, and if you could do that, you could definitely take care of your diet. Y'all brothers got it.
Good, Nathaniel.
So, you know, that was another point that I wanted to mention, was actually fasting. Through the course of fasting, because what I do on a regular basis is I do intermittent fasting, okay, which is a great practice, especially starting from sleep into the day. The very first thing that a lot of people eat is breakfast, which breakfast goes into what we call break fast. What fast did you just come off of? You just came off of a sleeping fast, because when you sleep, you fast. You don't eat anything, and your body goes into recovery mode. Fasting causes your body to heal. It causes your body to flush out all the toxins that were in it. So you got somebody who commented down here and said, how do I get rid of gout? Fast, bro. Fast, drink water, start juicing, eat more fruits and vegetables, stop drinking, stop eating meat. I'm not giving you any medical advice, but I'm just telling you the things that heal the body. Eat sea moss, man. You know what I'm saying? It has 92 of the minerals that your body need. You know, you don't need me to tell you, you know, what to do. Research it, man. How do you think I learned all this stuff? I learned all this stuff by looking into it, because I don't want to be healthy. I'm unhealthy. I'm 42 years old, and I got a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. By the time my 4-year-old turned 10, or by the time he turned 12, I'm gonna be in my 50s. I ain't gonna be able to run and chase after him if I ain't been taking care of myself. I ain't gonna be able to play ball, and let alone a 1-year-old. This shell is the only shell that we have, so you have to be mindful of what you put in it. And intermittent fasting, if you can't fast, intermittent fasting is great. A lot of us get up in the morning, the very first thing you want to do is put something in your mouth. Well, that's not how we dealt in the ancient world. In the ancient world, eating was not the first thing that we did when we woke up in the morning. We actually put ourselves to work first, and then we ate, okay? Because there's a synergy behind that, you know? There's a synergy behind fasting and not eating, warming your body up, you know, to consume, then consuming your food. You see what I'm saying? And not consuming heavy artery clogging meat and all that stuff. Now, we talked a little bit about, and just going into it too, real quick, I just wanted to go into the cause of gout is uric acid in the body, which means that you're putting a lot of poison in your body that your body can't get rid of. That's how uric acid develops in the body. And what happens is gout is actually a form of arthritis. Which happens is that the toxins start to crystallize within the joints, and that causes intense pain. You see what I'm saying? When you move around. So the way to get rid of it is flushing out the toxins. You have to sacrifice for that, okay? And there's something that the Bishop of Tazawam down here in Atlanta says all the time. You know, he says, whatever you're not willing to sacrifice will become your sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? And that's going to become your sacrifice. So if you're not willing to sacrifice the things that are causing you bad health, then you're gonna be sick from bad health. You see what I'm saying? If you don't want to take care of yourself now, you're going to be forced to take care of yourself later, regardless of how you look at it. And this is why so many people are dying from diseases, because they fall into the trap. Now, we spoke briefly about the poison, and we spoke about nutrition. Now, the next thing I wanted to bring up was hydration. Hydration is very critical for elimination. Your body, like the hydration of your body, the fluids that your body needs is what causes your joints to be able to flex, because it lubricates your joints. Hydration lubricates your bowels so you can eliminate. Hydration is the thing that causes the synapses in the brain to fire properly, because your brain and your body is properly hydrated. You see what I'm saying? When your body isn't properly hydrated, it doesn't function properly. So let's get into some ultra hydrating, because Esau has poisoned the water too. But one of the things that you can do is eat more fruit. So there's a substance called H3O2. Okay, and H3O2 is a highly structured water. Okay, it's a highly structured water that comes from fruits. And what happens is when your body when you drink water, it's in an unrefined form. But when you eat fruits and vegetables, those liquids beside the fruits and vegetables actually structure that for better absorption. So you can drink a cup of watermelon juice, which that's what I have. I just juice some watermelon. You can drink a cup of watermelon juice and it will ultra hydrate your body. You won't feel thirsty for quite some time. Another thing that people do is they confuse hunger with thirst. A lot of people don't realize that your stomach sends the same signals to the brain whether or not you're thirsty or hungry. You see? And a lot of people confuse hunger for thirst. A lot of times you're thirsty, you're dehydrated. All right. It says the highly structured water is referred to as the fourth phase of water, not H2O2, but H3O2. Can be called living water. It is more viscous, dense, and alkaline than regular water. Has a negative charge and can hold energy much like a battery and deliver energy to you. Structured water and infrared water. The key ingredient to create the highly structured water is light, i.e. electromagnetic energy. This energy comes from the sun. So this is the plants absorb the energy from the sun, whether in the form of visible light or infrared wavelengths, which surrounded by all. One reason why infrared saunas make you feel so good is because your body's cells are deeply penetrated by the infrared energy, which build and store structured water. The same goes for light therapy, spending time in the sun, and laser therapy. Your cells are negatively charged. Now, again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but if you want to research it, you can research it yourself. But H2O3 is one of the best things that you can do for your body. Okay. Now I wanted to grab a precept real quick, and then after that, that's pretty much all I got for right now. So this right here is Daniel. This is Daniel chapter 1, and I'm going to start at verse 8. And it says, "But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with a portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requests the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself, because the king's meat was defiled, just like our meat is defiled on this side. But there's something that you can do about it. You don't have to eat the worst of the worst. You can actually eat the best of the best, the best of the worst. But you got to go out and look for it. Because no matter where you go in Babylon, it's going to be defiled. It's going to have some level of defiledness to it, because even the soil and the air is defiled, because he sprays barium salts and aluminum dioxides in the air that comes down and makes the soil toxic. So, and the water toxic, and the fish and everything. So no matter what you do, you're going to get it, but you can get the best of the worst. It says, now Yahweh had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse, likening than the children which are of your sort? Then shall we make me endanger my head to make me endanger my head to the king. Then said Daniel to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, provide thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. And let our countenance be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the king, and the countenance of the king of the children that eat the portion of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servant. So he consented to them in this matter, and proved them 10 days. And at the end of the 10 days, their countenance appeared fairer and fatter in the flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Okay, so that's exactly what's happening here in Babylon. When you look at the people that consistently consume the king's meat, that consistently consume the things that come out of this nation, you can see the death and you can see the decay and you can see it in their behavior, how bugged out they are. You know, I just read an article today where a woman killed her boyfriend because they were fighting over who get to use the microwave first. Now, how bugged out is that? First of all, the microwave radiates your food. There's no heat in the microwave. What the microwave does is it radiates the liquid that is inside the food to cause the food to get hot. So you're eating radiated food, which is toxic for your body. But how bugged out do you have to be in the mind to kill somebody because you wanted to use the microwave first? You see what I'm saying? What are you eating? What are you putting in your body that caused your mind to be bugged out like that? You see?
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
And when you go into that scripture, you learn that, wait a minute, if we eat those things that the Lord told us to eat and stay away from the things that the king is trying to put in our face, we will have more life and vitality. You see? But this takes effort. This takes a little bit of work. You got to learn what to put in your body, because what have we been taught all our lives? McDonald's, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, fried food, fried this, fried that, you know? We haven't been taught those things, the grains that we should eat, the brown rice. We eat a whole lot of white rice, potato chips, starches. All of these things turn into sugar in the body, which is toxic for the body, raising those insulin levels to the point to where you become insulin resistant. And once you become insulin resistant, it is almost impossible for your insulin levels to come back down to normal, okay? The insulin levels is directly the reason why your body, you continue to crave to eat the sugars, is because what happens is when your insulin levels is raised to a point, there's a receptor inside the brain, a chemical inside the brain that's released. It's called dopamine, okay? That dopamine is something that is released when your body receives a sort of pleasure. So when you go and you eat when you're craving a candy bar, right? Your body wants that pleasure from that candy bar that you're about to eat. When you eat it, it spikes your insulin levels, which causes your dopamine levels to be released because you're sitting at pleasure and you get that satisfaction. You see what I'm saying? And that's the trick. And with your insulin levels consistently raised high, eventually you'll get to the point to where you become insulin resistant, and that's when diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and all those things kick in. You got it out.
Yeah, that's a heavy point you made, bro. Because dopamine, that's where you get the term dope from, literally. Dope.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Because dope, anybody that did dope, that's the exact reward senses that your brain signals to your body. When you do dope, the high that they feel, whatever. I ain't never fucking did dope, but people that do dope, whatever reward sensor that your body signals for that particular pleasure is the same thing. That's why people that's why people become addicted to instant gratification. That's another way. That's another way to phrase it. Instant gratification. Anything that gives you instant gratification in Babylon ain't good for you. Because what does Babylon promote, bro? Death. All right. Anything that's instant gratification in Babylon, it causes death. All right. Point blank, period. I don't care what it is. If Esau pushes it, then we should be going the other way. You know what I'm saying? Fasting and refraining from certain shit. It don't always got to be food either. It can be certain activities that get your dopamines high, and sometimes you just gotta fall back from it and really check yourself to see if that's who you are. Are you a dope fiend? All right, are you a dopamine fiend? Are you a fiend for dope? I'm not just talking about dope. I'm talking about whatever it is that kick them signals off in your brain. It could be a McDonald's. Hey, kids, children. They dope fiends, because when they mom's like, yeah, we need to go get some McDonald's, how them kids start acting, bro? They act like, there you go, brother. That's exactly how they start acting, man. You know, like fucking crack. You know, because that's that dopamine, that's that instant gratification. Now you can, with discipline, you can tweak it to really reward yourself. You do something for that reward, like drinking. Don't drink throughout the whole fucking week. Drink on the weekend. Reward yourself. Bust your ass during the week, and then drink on a Friday or Saturday. You know, reward yourself so that now you got something to look forward to. You know, when you eating, even eating could be a reward. You know, you work, you bust your ass. Intermittent fasting, which you know you say you do, I do it too. Now, when it comes time to eat, you enjoy it because now you work for this shit. You know what I'm saying? You work for it. You want your peace and quiet. You just want to eat your meal, and that's that. What's how they say? I think you put the not Socrates, one of the philosophers. Let food be that medicine. But there's another one. Sabi said it. Eat to live, don't live to eat. You know, eat to live, eat for vitality, but don't eat. You know, don't eat to live, or live to eat. Sorry, don't live to eat. So your whole life is all about eating. You know, you wake up in the morning. The first thing you should do is drink something warm to flush your body out. You should be shitting at least once or twice before you leave the house. You know what I'm saying? Get them toxins out your body. Empty the trash, so to speak. You know, some people, they go to bed eating. They go to bed, they eat, they go to bed at whatever time, and then they go and eat right away. That last meal you had did not even process. It ain't finished processing. You ain't get to dump that shit yet. You know, and that's why a lot of people wake up hungry, because you eat right before you go to bed, not right before you go to bed. Now what your body did throughout that whole 7 to 8 hours or whatever, however long you slept, is processing that food. So now when you wake up, you tired as hell because your machine was functioning all night. All right, you didn't give it a break. You know, so intermittent fasting is a beautiful thing. And matter of fact, I pulled up a matter of fact, hold on, before I pull up the precepts I got, I just wanted to, because I had to look it up myself, bro. I couldn't believe that shit. Right here. Actual facts, bro. That shit crazy.
Bro, that's it right there. That's it.
that shit, I ain't believe that shit, bro. I had to look it up for myself, bro. You know, I thought it was an Edomite, but goddamn, bro. I bet you she took the joint, the J.A. busy. 100%. But anyway, man. What I did was I typed in, you know, what does the Bible say about nutrition and health? And a couple things come up. Most of these are in the ESV, so I'm gonna just read it as it is, as it's saying on the screen, and read what's, you know, might be beneficial for this lesson, you know, before we close out. So this is 1 Corinthians 16 and 19. It says, or do you not know that your body, and this is ESV, it says that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from the Heavenly Father. You are not of your own, for we were bought with a price, so glorify the Most High in your body. Now think about it. You think Yahweh Shah was eating all types of bullshit when he was on the scene? Come on, bro. The man was a perfect sacrifice. That means he applied all the laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, that means he was perfectly balanced. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they called him a wine bibber and a gluttonous or whatever. But I guarantee he was eating all the right stuff. You know? And the wine he was drinking was the purest of the pure wine. And what the Lord said, he ain't gonna drink this grape, of the wine of the grape, or the vine of the grape, till he drink it new with us, you know, the 12 he was talking about, in his Father's kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So just put it like that. Our body is a temple of the Most High, so treat it as such. This is our vehicles, and I said this in the herb video, but this is our vehicle that drive us through our daily basis, to go to camp, to go to work, to do what we gotta do. Treat it as such. There's Genesis 1:29, and the Heavenly Father said, or the Elohim said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. Ye shall have them for food. And that's another thing. Your food, your fruits, your vegetable, it should all have a seed. Okay? If it don't have a seed, then it ain't real. You might, and even GMO shit cause inflammation in your body. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important to go on a fast. Fast will help balance out, you know, the BS that we're eating and drinking and taking in. Even though we trying, go on a fast. That's why intermittent fasting will probably be, you know, your best bet, because it don't have to be 24 hours. It could be 18-hour, 16-hour window of not eating out of 24 hours, 18, 20, however you want to do it, slicing and dicing. Consider 8 hours of sleep and 8 hours of not eating, you got your easy 16. Throughout that whole 8 hours, you could be drinking fluid and flushing your body. Drink water. Your body is made up of water. This is Proverbs 23 and 20. ESV again. It says, Be not among drunkards or be not among drunkards or among gluttonous eaters of meat. For the drunkard and gluttonous will come to poverty, and slumber will clothe them with rags. You see? So being a drunkard and a gluttonous and eaters of meat and just gluttonous, you come to poverty. You know? The most expensive thing you can do is always eating out. Always eating out. And that's why the black woman, or women in general, they always want to eat out. They always want to go out and eat. Why? You know, they go out and eat and take a picture or just glorify some bullshit ass meal on the table that could have been fixed at home. You know? That us brothers could have done a better job doing.
Like Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Come on, bro. Like, really? Really? You know? Why? But just to say you went out and eat? Personally, I fucking hate going out and eat, bro. I mean, I used to do this shit, but I never feel satisfied when I go out and eat. I never feel like the satisfaction of the nutrients that my body, I never feel it. If I do, it's for pleasure. Point blank period. We don't eat for pleasure. You know? Or
That's how you get broke.
Huh?
That's how you go broke fast. Go ahead and eating at Mr. Childs. Keep going out to eat. See how your pockets look. I mean, we was talking earlier about having the proper diet. The diet covers more than just your what goes in your stomach, because it's a way of life. What about your budget diet? You know, Abaratazar, we're gonna do a lesson one day on finances and try to make it hit home for some Jake and make some sense, because that's another taking care of. That's another human necessity, man. As we are still here, you gotta have order and discipline amongst everything you do. Yeah. And as the brother mentioned, having a good diet, when you're doing these things like fasting, the brother mentioned when you're doing these things, intermittent fasting, when you're drinking all of this water, when you're turning your whole wave around, make sure you take notice of how your body is feeling. Tell me you ain't gonna feel better. Tell me you ain't gonna use the bathroom more often. And then you going, like, how you feel, you know, how you feel after it. You're supposed to feel rejuvenated, energized. You got your sleep, man, because you're supposed to be, you know, you're gonna be toiling on the plantation. You're gonna want that energy, you know, and then you're gonna watch a lot of people how they look. They look sluggish. They look like they're old. Their metabolism is slower than it should be. They're walking slower than they should be, and their knees and all of that stuff. There's a dead look in a lot of these Americans as you walking down the street. Notice them. There's a dead look in them because a lot of it is basically they ain't taking care of their bodies no more. Bro. It's like, the hell with it.
Hey, bro, we see it all the time, bro. And you see, for those that are watching, Lord willing, this makes sense and this resonate with you, because once you, you know, I don't want to say, you know, once you're on that side, so to speak, and you start looking at how these people really eat and drink, it's like, how the hell do you do it? I mean, I'm talking about 7 a.m. Niggas eating bacon, egg, and cheese, bro, and Swiss rolls, them little Debbie cakes and shit, donuts. Ask me if I want some. Nah, I'm good. I don't eat until 12 o'clock. And at 12, when I do eat, it really is a smoothie that I make every morning. When I wake up, like 5, when I wake up, I start making my smoothie. I put the ingredients and all that shit. And I'll eat down to 12. But from 7, or from the time I wake up to 12, when I do break that intermittent fasting, is water, is black coffee, which that helps me go to the bathroom straight up. You know, black coffee, water. I drink spirulina around 10, and then more water, and then 12 I have the smoothie, and then I don't eat until I get home like around 3, 4 o'clock. Not even. I'll probably work out a little bit, and then around 4, 5, 6 o'clock, then I'll eat, and that's that, and then repeat the same day. You know, but it's bugged. That's just what I do. You know, through the spirit, that's just what I do, and even, you know, working this particular job, helped kept that rhythm. You know, 12 o'clock the smoothie. After a workout, if it ain't the Sabbath or my rest day, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock the latest. You know, I try to cram everything in. That's why, like you said, bro, Lord willing, you know, even time management is another thing you gotta kind of work on if you can, you know, to the best of your ability. You know? Hey, 1 Corinthians 4, 14 and 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. If you can organize your shit, organize it. There's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, reading on Proverbs 23 and 20, it says, ESV, it says, be not among drunkards or among gluttonous eaters of meat, for the drunkard and glutton will come to poverty. All right, will come to poverty. You always eating and drinking. You gonna go broke. You're gonna go broke if you always eating and drinking. Always want to go out and eat. Always want to eat these fast foods. Always want to, buy liquor. You're gonna go broke. Believe that. All right. And slumber will clothe them with rags. So always sleeping. That's another thing. Always sleeping. Some motherfuckers don't. It depends on your schedule. But if you ain't working, you waking up at damn near 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, high noon. What the hell you doing? Right. What are you doing? You waking up damn near 12 o'clock in the morning every day. You ain't working. If your schedule allows you, if you're doing graveyard shifts and that's the time you wake up, I'm not talking about you. But if you up all night drinking, eating, playing motherfucking Call of Duty, GTA 4, what are you really doing? What are you doing? Hey, bro, that's a fucked up lifestyle, bro. I'm gonna say it like it is. A real fucked up lifestyle. I believe I had one more, bro. The brother read
it's not an advantageous lifestyle, man. Jake just be working against themselves instead of for themselves. They worst enemy, man. You try to transition the Jake from everyday hamburgers to some fruits and vegetables, man. Dude just gonna have a heart attack just trying to get up to fight you. Jake having heart attacks, man. Jake got all that fatty tissue on their livers and yo, Jake, y'all in bad condition. Of course, it's the curses, of course. But
you can't always blame it on that, bro.
Right.
If you can help it, bro. Like real talk. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like Jake could be on some shit. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking eat this damn. I'm gonna eat this KFC because we under curses. We broke. Come on, bro. That's a real fucking slumped up mentality, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How does that help you grow? If you're around a brother like that all the time, how does that help you? A brother that's saying that shit, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. How does that benefit you?
and two, like, if I could say, bro, cook, man. Cook.
Yeah. There you go, bro.
Cook. Like, what's wrong with going to the stove and buying you some chicken and going home and cooking it, bro?
Yeah.
Trust me, it's gonna be a lot better than how they cook that putrefied chicken at KFC and these fast food restaurants, bro. Trust me. And we was talking briefly about going out. Man, I went out. I ain't been out. I ain't been out in a long time, bro. In a minute. And I decided I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take me and the kids out to eat because I don't feel like cooking.
Yeah.
So disappointed and discouraged. Like, bro, why did I even come here? This food is nasty, man. You know what I'm saying?
You just spent all that money on it, right?
Yeah, and I just spent like $100 on all of us to eat, and we didn't even eat it. It was super salty. You know what I'm saying? And we're just thinking like it's like full of cheese and grease and oil and whatever else they cooked on the grill, and we just sitting here like, man, I don't even want this, man. You know what I'm saying? This is just disgusting. And then I'm thinking to myself, I could have made this at home and it would have been so much better, But Jake is lazy. They want, like your brother said, instant gratification. I gotta have it now. When you're not understanding, delayed gratification is much more rewarding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Much more rewarding. When you sit at home, you know what I'm saying, and you take that chicken, you throw it in the water and you watch it being clean, and you take it, pat it dry, and you throw it in your marinade, let it sit for about 30, 40 minutes, and you take some organic white flour or whatever you got, and you dredge it, and you saute them things up and you eat it. It's a lot more satisfying than going to KFC or Popeyes or one of these places where you're getting that defiled food, man. And they use the most cheapest and base ingredients that they can get, so they can sell it to you at the lowest possible, at a mid-range cost, so you can afford it, and they can make the maximum amount of profits, man. That's what y'all do, and then you wonder why you're in such bad health, man. And you wonder why these people bugged out of their mind. It's not because it's because, I'll just say it like that, it's because of what they're putting into their body, man. You are what you eat, and what you put into your body is what you're going to get out of your body. Just like what you put into the spirit is what you can get out of the spirit, man. That's just how it is, It's like the brother said, if you fast, and that's something that I'm trying to get back into because, you know what I'm saying? I started, I did a lot of management at food companies, and I would spend long hours there. I'd be there. I used to be a general manager at Chipotle, and I would spend 12, 13, 14 hours at that restaurant eating that garbage, and it eventually started to take a toll on my body. So I eventually quit. It's like, I ain't doing this no more. I found something else to do. And then I started reconstructing my health because I seen what was happening. A lot of times your situation can dictate how you behave.
That's a fact.
And if your situation is dictating your behavior, then you need to get yourself out of that situation, especially if it's affecting the health of you and your children. But that's all I got.
Real
Right. Well said.
All right, good ball. You have more?
That's it, bro. Well said, man. Well said, bro. You know, cook your own shit, bro. I mean, us brothers, us men in general, we're simple, bro. We're very simple. We live a very simple lifestyle. Very simple, bro. This is how the Most High created us, bro. We are very simple creatures. You know what I'm saying? We focus more on the necessities and not the plush shit. You know, that's very feminine. You know, to be focusing on the plush things in life. We're simple, bro. Why are we simple? Because we all about survival. So we gonna eat one way or another. You know, brothers cook their own shit. You got a woman to cook. You show her the guidelines on how to cook, how to set it up, whatever. You know, but pay attention to what you eat, man. That nutrition, pay attention to what you drink. You know, hey, think about it, man. I mean, you feel way more better. Even though it's a spirit that really dictated, but even the flesh has a lot to do with it too. Like, even on Saturdays. Me personally, I don't eat heavy on Saturdays before camp. You know what I'm saying? More than likely, I'd rather kind of like real light fruits, vegetables, you know what I'm saying? Or water, coffee, or some shit, whatever. But I don't want to go to camp feeling like I done had a cheeseburger, fries, and nah, I can't do it. Because my mind ain't gonna be there. I'm gonna be all groggy and shit. That's me personally, bro. I mean, if other brothers could do it, that's beautiful. But, you know, I won't advise it. You know what I'm saying? You want to be on, in your wits when you out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate afterwards. Reward yourself after the battle, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to go to camp hungry. Eat something simple that's gonna hold you down. Eat some complex carbs. I remember they said, "Hey, bro, I'm not even saying that. I remember I heard this from the elder bishops years ago, bro. I'm talking about when we first came into the camp, bro. Elder Tazadaki said this back then. He was like, "Yo, bros, one of the good things to eat when you coming out to camp is oatmeal because that shit, it sustains you. You know what I'm saying? It holds you down. It's complex carb. It'll hold you down. It'll release that energy, the calories, which calories is energy. It'll release it over the course of the time, not instantly where you catch that insulin spike and now you got the niggeritis. It'll slowly release it for you, bro. That instant release gives you the niggeritis, bro. You know, you ever eat something so much sweet shit at a fast pace, you would think it's energetic, but now you knocked the hell out because you ate the shit too fast and it was probably sweets in there and it wasn't as complex as you thought it was. You know, it's that simple, bro. And you know what? You could honestly save more money if you do, you know, you look for the more complex foods to eat. You know, certain butters, cashew butter, almond butter, oatmeal, vegetables, blend your stuff up, juice your stuff up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that hard, bro. It's just discipline. Jake really don't got the mental discipline for it. And I'm not speaking as one who got it all together, bro. It comes with the diet, which is the lifestyle. Once it comes, strike when the iron is hot. Keep it fucking flowing, bro. You know? Keep it flowing. Believe me, it feels good. You know, you're rewarding your own self by doing it, bro, at the end of the day. You know? But yeah, that's it, bro.
I'm gonna say this, when you go to I must bring these out. This is Deuteronomy 8:3. It says, "And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live." You had a brother who mentioned or asked the question, how do I get rid of gout? Hey man, you better pray. You did mention fast as well, Nathaniel Allah, you know, and then you showed them a couple these things together, man. This is the beauty of why we have in scriptures bringing out precepts and bringing out the order and the discipline it takes to eat right. is because you couple all of these together. You know, the Most High gave all of this for our this information for us to utilize, right? Now you know when you eating at a certain time of night, it's gonna keep you up. It's gonna mess with your work habits. It's gonna throw you all off the clock. You know, now you know why you didn't make it to work that day, or you all groggy and everything, why he laid you off. But you got to have some more accountability and more responsibility. That's basically what we're talking. We're talking to, you know, Jake, and we know we're talking to men, right? There's some aqua out there as well that's doing for their husbands and whatnot, but we're talking to men. It takes a lot of discipline to change certain ways that's been, just like you said, 30 years of eating bad habits you can't fix in 2 months.
Nope.
It takes a lot of discipline to take out these bad habits, man. They say it take 60 days, something around, just to form a habit.
Nah.
Some say 30.
Like 30. Let 20, like 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 29 days. I don't know if I'm muted. 29 days, they say, is what forms a habit or to break a habit. So whether or not you're forming a new habit or breaking a habit, it takes like 29 days. Which essentially that means now your body becomes normalized to it. It's not a fight no more. What we talking about, these things, it seems for some Jake, it seems way out there. Like, yo, I can't, man. I'm so used to my Twinkies in the morning. But that's the issue. You shouldn't be used to no Twinkies, man.
Bro, you shouldn't be eating that shit, man.
You know, I'm being facetious, but yeah. You got some Jakes out there.
If I eat a Twinkie first thing in the morning, bro, I'm not doing nothing else for the rest of the day, bro. My body shut down.
If I eat a Twinkie, man, lock me in the room, bro.
Right there and then, bro.
Real, man.
Mad demons on that Twinkie.
Boy,
Isaiah 55. It's a lot, guys. Isaiah 55 and 2. It says, "Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and labor for that which is not satisfied not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat that which is good, and let your soul delight in itself in fatness." So, you know, the real food, what we getting into? Because, you know, you can't eat bread alone. What you got to have to couple that good food habits, man. You know, you got a lot of health nuts out here. Look at Cali Muscle. You got people that are so damn healthy and strong that they having heart attacks.
Kali Muscle ain't healthy though, bro.
Right. Of
that,
course.
That dude, first of all, he's shooting, he's
juicing.
He's juicing. And then he was trying to go viral by eating all that damn McDonald's and shit.
Yeah.
So that's not the first time that happened to him. That's probably like the third or fourth time he almost got. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that nigga ain't healthy, bro. He's far from it, actually. But
you got some Jakes, let's say you got some Jakes that's 70, 80. And you know what they doing? They up in the gym. They up early. They living their life like they 22 because they taking care of their bodies, man. It's a lot of benefit to that. And their mind be healthy. But when you couple it with this truth, come on, man. This is John 4:13. Yahushua says, Yahushua answered and said unto her, "Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up in eternal life." The woman saith unto him, "Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw." And that goes into the concept of seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, all things shall be added unto you. Right? When you go into John 6:27, labor not for that which meat which perisheth, but for the meat which endureth unto everlasting life. You check that out in the NLT. It says, but don't be so concerned about perishable things like food. Spend your energy seeking the eternal life that the Son of Man can give you. And yeah, it says, don't be so concerned. I mean, look, yo, this is probably the first video in years that we did about food. Yeah, Twinkies, yo. This is the first video we did in years about food and health. You know what I'm saying? But there's but we always keep it in mind. We practice it daily, man. I think I got into, check out an app called Eat This Much. If you just, completely don't know where to start and all of that, check out an app called Eat This Much on Google Play or whatever you got. Droid, whatever the other one is, Apple. Yeah, Eat This Much. It'll tell you put in your height, your weight, and all of these things. And then it'll give you select your diet, select the foods you don't want to eat. It'll even help you with the grocery list and all of that. You'll be shopping in the grocery with this list, and then you can go about your way. I think I paid $55 a year for it. I started about 3 years ago, and it'll help you cut down and help you bulk up, whatever you're trying to do, but it gives you that right proportions, and proportions is a lot too. We ain't really got to discuss that, but eating the right foods and keeping the right proportions as well. You gotta know your things like BMI. You might check for your BMI. Definitely know your weight. You might know your fat. What's it called?
Fat index.
Yeah, your fat index and everything. And we're going, Lord willing, Abaratazar going to working out next week. Just touch on that. Scriptures say bodily exercise profiteth little. But if I give you $1 a day for your entire life, that joint gonna add up. So we just talking about adding everything up. Of course, what we bringing out most importantly is the scriptures, is the prophecies, man. Because we don't have a long time to get this right. It ain't like we trying to be some professionals out here. We're not trying to get, gaslight, make you feel like you less than because we, eat better than you. Ain't about that, man. You gotta start somewhere. But you could tell a lot about a man about his diet. You could tell a lot, right? So it said, labor not for that meat which perisheth, but for the meat that which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you. For him hath Yahweh the Father sealed, right? So there it is. That's the major meat. That's the major intake, is what's coming in here, which is this truth, right? There's wisdom, but of course you can't. Here it is. You super wisdomed out, and then your eating habits is terrible. You can't even control your appetite. Guess what? Guess who else couldn't control his appetite? Esau. You think he ended up in that position? What did he do? What was the whole deal with Esau? That red pottage, man. He was starving. He just wanted that instant food. He didn't care if it was cooked, nothing. You know what I'm saying? He's the original glutton, man.
That's right.
Right, yeah.
That's right.
So that's how we was able to, our forefather Jacob was able to supplant him. And then even dealing with our father Isaac, he fell to that same, stead, because he came in and asked Isaac, thinking it was Esau, I'm hungry. And Rebecca tipped him off. Yeah, your father's hungry. You could go in there right now and play like you Esau and he said, feed me unless I die. So guess what? You got two situations where men was tricked out of their hunger. So, what I'm saying? You got curved. Sometimes you got to be in the spirit to curve things. And what the brother brought out early was important. I'm just ending with that. And then, unless y'all brothers got some more, I'm going to end it with that. Is that your sacrifice, anything that's you can't give up easily. What you said, the sacrifice.
I said whatever you're not willing to sacrifice will become the sacrifice.
Yeah. You want to expound on that real quick?
Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying, if you're not willing to sacrifice, just to stay on topic what we're on, if you're not willing to sacrifice those things that are causing you to potentially have bad health, then you're gonna get bad health. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get bad health because you're not willing to sacrifice those things that could potentially cause you to get bad health. You're not willing to eat properly. You're not willing to exercise. You're not willing to detoxify. So all of those things that you're not willing to do for good health, I'll just put it to you like that, then you will sacrifice your health in the long run. You see what I'm saying? Just to expound upon it a little bit. So if you're not doing those things necessary to take care of your health, then you will sacrifice your health and you will have to take care of yourself. And normally when you're forced to take care of yourself to be healthier, it's too late. You're past the point to where you actually can get healthy again because you've already broken down to the point to where you're past redemption. This is why you get a lot of people that get these cancers and heart disease and all that stuff. And the only thing they can do is just go to Esau to buy their time because they sacrifice their health for pleasure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it is.
There's a term for that, bro. It's called preventative maintenance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Preventative maintenance. In other words, you maintain something to prevent something.
Yeah.
If you constantly taking your vehicle for a but tune up, regular service, you're doing that not because it's broken down. You're doing it to maintain it in the long run. Same thing with the body. You don't wait for the last minute. You don't wait for your your oil light went on, but you still beating that shit down. Now your engine is just friction against friction, motor against motor, steel against steel. Now the shit done torn down. Now you got to change the whole, engine head. Preventative maintenance. So now the things we did, like we did the herb lesson, last week or something like that. A lot of herbs we went into, it's not so much that we need it, but it's a preventative maintenance. It's things to maintain you to prevent certain shit in the future. We're still fairly young men, all right. We in our 30s, 40s. The brother in his 40s, early 40s. That's young. That ain't fucking old, bro. You know, really, it ain't old. We really supposed to be in our prime. But the things we do take, eat, and the precautions and all that, it's preventative maintenance, bro. Before we get to the point of no return. You know what I'm saying? So when your brothers go into certain herbs, people are like, oh, why do you need that? I don't need it. It's preventative maintenance. And when you need it, it's gonna be too late. How about that? When you actually do need it, it's gonna be too late. Now you gotta go to Esau for some shit. Now he gonna hook you on some shit that you gonna always need for the rest of your life. When you come off of that shit, you're gonna go on withdrawal. And then you're gonna be done. You know? Hey, bro. Huh? Good.
I was gonna say that's what they do. You see, because Esau whole MO is to wipe us out on both ends. You see what I'm saying? To wipe us out in the food and then prescribe the medicine to finish the job. You know, my ribs, just to give you a quick example, because I have example of these things, you know what I'm saying, in my life to prove that. My ribs father, right? The year that my eldest son, not my eldest, but our first son together, the year that he was born, we had a baby shower, man. Dude was healthy looking, strong, you know, looking good. The next year, he found out that he had cancer, right? You could beat cancer. Cancer is something that you can beat if you start putting the right foods in your body, because it can't survive in an alkaline environment, right?
Right.
He went to Esau, right? What do you think he died from? Do you think he died from cancer?
Chemotherapy?
No, he didn't die from chemo. He died from liver failure, because the poisons that they were putting into his body caused his liver to fail.
I heard about that.
You see?
Yeah.
So it's like his whole MO is to kill you. And see, he hires people in these death shacks that they call hospitals and train them in the ways of death. And they think that they're administering care to you because that's how they were trained, but they're really giving you the things necessary to kill you. And they don't even realize what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They think that they're doing procedures and helping you because that's what they were taught, that these things help. But in all actuality, these things are designed to kill you.
What'd you say about nitrates?
Nitrates, for instance, going into that, a lot of us eat sausages, you know, a lot of us eat, when you go to the store, you see those deli meats inside the case, and you bypass the ham, you don't want to eat that, and you say, okay, let me get that chicken right there, let me get that turkey, you know, but not realizing, have you ever asked yourself the question, how is that looking fresh like that after all this time? Because they put something inside of the meat called nitrates, right? And the nitrates inside of the meat causes cancer. No, not like, okay, well, it could cause cancer. No, they have definitive studies that have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that when they've done these studies in lab mice, and they feed them these nitrates, that in a very short period of time, those rats that ingested it had full-blown cancer. Full-blown cancer. So now you have the hot dogs, or the food that's full of these sodium nitrates and these different chemicals, right? Then you have the food, the sprayed with all of these chemicals. You have the seedless, GMO, genetically modified foods that you eat. Then you have all of the junk food that you eat and you put into your body, right? And then you start getting all of these diseases because you're just enjoying yourself and not realizing, that a lot of times things that taste good ain't good for you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times things that taste bad, the bitter stuff is actually really good for you, but you don't want to take that to make you healthier. You don't want to do that. Did you know that there's a direct correlation between what you eat and different types of worms and parasites that are in your body, like hookworms, roundworms, tapeworms? There's a direct correlation. A lot of times when y'all jakes out there, y'all get these desires late at night for different types of food. It's not even you. That's the parasite excreting a chemical inside of your body that's tricking your brain into thinking that it's you doing that, but that's the parasite that's craving that stuff. And the parasite is telling your brain that you want it so you can go and eat it. You see? So there's a direct correlation between those things. So when you eat these type of toxic foods, like foods full of nitrates, you are actually putting cancer inside your body, man. and this is why you bugged out. Let me tell you something about parasites. These parasites, they will crawl into your brain like trichinosis. You know, a lot of people think that oh wow, we can eat pork because they got rid of trichinosis. No, fool. Trichinosis still exists. There's still worms inside of that meat. You eat it, the worms will crawl into your brain and start eating your brain. And guess what they do with what they eat? Where do you think that waste goes? Huh? They shit inside of your brain, inside of your body. And you become more bugged out. You know, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? And this stuff is a real deal, but Jake don't really look into all these things. And this is why so many people are sick and fat, and why like 60% of Americans are obese, you know, because you don't watch what you eat. And before you know it, it done snuck up on you. You can't touch your toes no more. You can't see your genitalia anymore. You know what I'm saying? You got Dunlap syndrome. Your belly done lapped over your belt. You know what I'm saying? You know? And you don't want to do, you don't want to take the sacrifice to make yourself better, man.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think we good. Hey, goodbye. You got anything you wanted to close out with, man?
Yeah. Matter of fact, you know, hey, to bring balance, you know, I mean, the whole class segment was balanced. But you know, a spirit just hit me like not too long ago, last minute, to just bring this out. You know what I'm saying? Because what we doing, what we said, it was wise counsel, wise advice. You know what I'm saying? It's prudent. It's prudent. It's not a commandment. We ain't commanding nobody to go, you know, we ain't need a commandment, man, but it's prudent. You know, it's wise. A wise man, a careful man, a joyful man would take care of his meats and his diet and all that, like the scriptures say, all right? But I'm going to bring out the scripture, Colossians chapter 2, verse 16. And we may have new listeners coming fresh out the world who probably just ate pork last week and just found out they couldn't eat pork. You know, we understand that it's going to be their battle, their walk, their struggle to have to fucking put that shit off eventually. You know what I'm saying? So just to bring the balance, you know what I'm saying? This is Colossians chapter 2, verse 16. It says, let no man therefore judge you in meat, or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Yahushua. And just to bring the balance, because we're going to have a proselytes, new listeners, new converts, new believers, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, this is a growing process. We all grown. From the time we came in to now, we month number 1 when we came in, we were still folly as all hell, doing some effed up shit. You know, if we look back at it, we be like, what the fuck was I doing? You know what I mean? You be ashamed of yourself if you go back and look at yourself the first month, year, couple years you came in.
You gotta repent again.
Growth, huh?
You gotta repent for that again.
Exactly, bro. You think about it, you look at it like Lord forgive me for that. Damn, I forgot about that shit, but Lord forgive me for that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, just to bring the balance to the lesson, you know, all these things are a shadow of things to come, because we gonna get it perfect in the kingdom, bro. Everybody's situation varies, and this is just exhortation, admonishment, warning. Take care of your health, take care of your body. I mean, nobody ain't gonna force feed you bananas and prunes and water. We ain't gonna do that, you know, but we can advise, you know, on a proper diet, which is the prudent thing and a wise thing to do. You know, if you really care about yourself and you really care about your well-being, your diet, your lifestyle, point blank period. You know what I'm saying? Because then Jake cares when it's too late. Jake want to get right when it's too late. And the Most High ain't dealing with that. Yahweh Shemel Shah is not dealing with that. That's why he's looking for faith. You know what I'm saying? Lord's looking for faith. Take care of your shit now before it's too late. Because what's faith when you know you're in a situation where, you know, you could have avoided it? It's more faithful when you putting yourself in a position to avoid it, man. Nah, I don't want to get down with that. I don't want to fucking, you know, be destroyed with this, you know? But yeah, I just wanted to bring that out, man, you know, just to, I guess, bring balance to the whole thing, you know? Over time, get it right. You know what I'm saying? Start now. One thing that I can't stand, bro, is when people set a date or a resolution. Where we at? We in the end of October. A motherfucker wait to say January I'm gonna start. Why not start today, bro? You'll be 3 months ahead or 2 months ahead if you started today, rather than in fucking January. Now, you know what 2 months could do? 2 months of intermittent fasting, exercising, sleeping, eating right. That 2 months could do a whole lot. That's 8 weeks, bro. Of how it. You know what it will do? Mostly it will mentally prepare you for January 1st. A New Year's resolution. I'm just putting that out there because I can't. New Year's resolution don't last that long. That shit lasts 1 week and that's it. I tell people that shit. You want to lose weight? You want to do this? Start now. And they look at you like, I wasn't expecting that. Well, you ain't ready then. Sometimes it's good to go cold turkey, bro, to really challenge yourself. But yeah, that's it, man. That's all I got to say, bro.
Nathaniel, all the last words, bro.
Oh man. Only thing I got is a precept if I can bring it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Got it.
Yeah. This is Matthew 4:4. It said, "But he answered and said, It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh." That was pretty much
Beautiful.
right there.
Beautiful, man. Yeah. Like as a brother, to wrap it up, as the brothers were saying, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Yeah, be important. Put your importance level and your health level, and keep that in mind, man. Don't be such a glutton that you forget that. Take the right medicines and the herbs, and this is what the Lord gave us, man. This is part of our heritage. We the people that don't eat everything on the earth. That's our heritage, man. So, Lord willing, this is all edification, damn near 2-3 hours on this, which is cool. Hey, Abaratazah for the ones who been paying attention and watching and hanging in there. We're going on Sunday talk to the UK brothers. We're going to check in with the UK brothers. They got some information for us on Sunday morning. Abaratazah, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. We're going to be dealing Sunday afternoon. We're going to be dealing with the some Levite brothers, man. They're going to be going into the tribe of Levi, and all of the interesting things about, so-called Haitians and everything you don't know, just in case brothers wanted to, get informal on Levi, and Abarat is on Tuesday. Brothers, all the military, bro. We're going to have something interesting for everybody for military. Yeah. Every time with a military background, all the military brothers, a few good known men and Great Millstone are going to come through and give us some edification on what they learned through the military, how they apply it, just so we could take that and apply it, man. At this point in time, it's just application. Don't read these scripts and don't think you can't apply nothing on a never day basis. Every day, apply them, man. Applying one is better than applying none. Knowing 1,000 and applying none, there's no satisfaction, nothing out of that. So apply it, man. Application, man. Make that your calling, and use diligence to make that calling and election sure. That's what we're talking about. And always have faith. Everything you do with faith. If you're gonna eat on a diet, do it with faith. You're gonna work out, exercise, do it with faith. Have faith in everything you do. When you go to work, do it with faith. You could work with faith, meaning that you ain't working for your boss. You're working for, this is your responsibility as a man to your family, to your children, whatnot. You could ignore all of the rest of this shit, and just do what you're supposed to be doing, zone out, so to speak, All right. So, hey, we want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Again, double honors to the apostles and elders who rule well over the flock. Shalom and salutation to all you brothers out here pushing the words of truth and sincerity, real soldiers of the Lord. And shalom to all the Aki and the Aqua paying attention, scattered Israelites abroad. Yeah, we see you. Abaratazah, this was edifying. We're gonna come Abaratazah next Friday. We're gonna deal with exercise. So we see y'all then too for that. Abaratazah, always Lord willing. All right. Shalom, above all, DTA, Tawab, Laila, Shalom.
Tawab, Laila.
Stay on, Nathan.